working out tonight for homecoming.
They do. They got those camo. I think that's when they support the military uniform. So very cool. And one of my favorite ones of the year.
Yep, no question about it. The number's a little bit harder to see than normal, but still, it's well worth it. And the Kokomo Wildcats in their road white uniforms with great big giant blue numbers on their uniforms. So we should be able to identify the Kokomo Wildcats. And I'm just curious to see how that passing attack that Kokomo likes to employ is going to be affected, especially when they have to go into the wind on 2 of these 4 quarters.
Yeah, as I lost it in my notes, but their quarterback, he's put up some pretty nice numbers this season. And if we're able to take that away tonight, we could really make it difficult on them. They got a couple nice backs. Deshaun Winston averaging 32 yards a game, and Jeremy Baker, who we got to watch during the basketball season, a big stocky kid, averaging 52 yards a game, both on the ground. But if we can slow down their air attack, that would really help our chances tonight.
Yep, no question about it. And health is always a factor, especially as we get down toward the stretch of the season. Josh Manfred still missing that broken foot, not available. And we got some bad news just prior to coming on the air tonight as well.
Yeah, also Eli Starkey's in concussion protocol too. So, he's another guy that they rotate in that could hurt the depth a little bit tonight. But, thankfully, most of the guys have gotten healed up here the past few weeks. And, we knew that was going to be critical going into some of these tough games. And really to be able to keep everybody healthy after that Marion game last week is a major accomplishment.
Yep, and we talked with Coach Johnson, as we do after every game after the 30-0 loss. I was curious what how his spirits were. All things considered, I think he was pretty upbeat. I think he realized just how good Marion was.
Yeah, and we talked about during the game, I thought our defense was good almost the entire game. We really held their rushing attack in check for the most part. But, that was the best running back we've seen all season. And when the second and third guys are almost on the same level, that makes it very difficult. But, if we can continue to play that way the rest of the season and continue to improve, we should pile up some nice victories.
Yep, and he talked a little bit about some defensive adjustments that Marion did that caught them maybe a little bit off guard. So he's broken out some new wrinkles from what we have been told, and we may see some different offensive alignments that we haven't seen this season.
Yeah, we won't tip our hand, but could see some things we haven't seen all year, and maybe that'll help the quarterback see a little bit better, maybe open up the offense a little bit. And we saw what Garrett Barron could do on the ground last week.
Yes.
As when he gets opportunities, he can pick up big chunks of yards. And when you got a kid who can throw the ball as well as he can, and he just keeps getting better at that every week. He's got a nice cannon for an arm, and a kid who can take off and run. That's a nice dual threat.
So the Berries have won the toss. They have deferred, which we expected. So Kokomo will get the ball first. So we'll step aside for one final break. When we return, we'll have the opening kickoff of this homecoming matchup between Logansport and Kokomo. There's more to come live from Logansport.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Anderson Auto Group pregame show on WSAL. Mike Anderson Chevrolet Buick GMC would like to show you the award-winning quality of their new car inventory. Chevy cars and trucks are racking up the awards, while GMC is professional grade. Check out the all-new line of Buick Regals with innovative designs with more function than any other brand. Mike Anderson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Logansport.
Hello, this is Ed Schroeder, Republican candidate for Cass County Sheriff. It's high school football time in Cass County. The rebuilding continues for the Berries, and Coach Johnson is third year as head coach. Join me in cheering on Coach Johnson and the Logansport Berry football team to a successful 2018 season as they compete in the North Central Conference. Here's to a safe season of competition and sportsmanship for all student athletes. This message is paid for by the committee to elect Ed Schroeder Sheriff.
The play-by-play with Joe Stetz and Steve Isaacs is coming up. Plus, be sure and listen to the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine Halftime Show. All part of WSAL coverage of this Berries football game on WSAL. It's back to the stadium with the kickoff coming up on WSAL.
Alan James, thank you very much. Joe Stetz, Steve Isaacs back, ready for the opening kickoff. Juan Perez with the wind at his back, and I expect this one to go out of the end zone. We'll see how
I would too.
Juan has gotten better and better as this season has progressed, so he gets ready to put his foot into it. A high end-over-end kick, and the wind does carry it into the end zone for a touchback. So now we got an inadvertent whistle, I believe. Let's wait and see. First, the ball was blown off the tee, so one had to start over again, and now we've got, looks like a penalty against Kokomo. I'm pointing in Kokomo's direction. Or they're just going to do it again. So this, we might be leading the IHSAA in inadvertent kickoffs. This is, I think this is our third one this season in 7 games.
I know. I don't think we've seen one all of last year.
I think you're right. So some sort of infraction against Kokomo. So they'll move the ball 5 yards further. So now the Berries will kick off from their own 45 as opposed to their own 40. And so if Juan didn't wear himself out on that previous kick, should drill it out of the back of the end zone, and Kokomo will start at the 20.
They'll be nice and loose now.
Yep, that's for sure. And that's not an easy thing to do, as the weather has taken a turn for the cool side. But nothing wrong with that when it was hot and humid just 10 days ago or so.
Yeah.
So it's a nice change. So here's Perez. Puts a long, strong foot into this one, and it goes out of the back of the end zone. So I think, let's see. All right. So we will not have our third attempted kickoff to start this game. We'll stop with just 2. As Juan Perez kicks it out of the back of the end zone, Kokomo to start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Levi Rabos, 6'1" senior, is the quarterback. And Steve Isaac says they'd like to put it in the air, but he is into the teeth of a very strong wind, so we'll have to wait and see, and I'm sure that the Berries are going to stack that line of scrimmage and try to stop the run and dare Kokomo to try and beat them through the air into the wind here to start this ball game.
Yeah, Rabos with 1,120 yards passing and 5 touchdowns so far this season, and look for him to go to Steve Edwards, a lot averaging 78 points or yards per game.
Yep, so Stephen Edwards is in the backfield with Rabos, a pair of receivers out to the right, one receiver to the left, and we get all sorts of movement. The Berries did jump, but also a down lineman for Kokomo moves, so we'll have to wait and see who moved first. Miles Dungy and Steve Mendez pointing towards Kokomo, but I think that's a good call. I think the Berries did move first, which initiated the Kokomo offensive lineman to move, so Kokomo gets a free 5 yards. It'll be 1st down and 5. So the Berries did a pretty good job in the penalty department last week against Marion, but here with a penalty on the first play from scrimmage. So Kokomo has it 1st down and 5. They have it at the 25-yard line. Rabos now back to pass. He's got a man wide open, and it is going to be caught and falling down, and that's the only thing that stopped a touchdown is Julian Wallace couldn't keep his feet. There wasn't a Berry within 15 yards of him, Steve, and at least on that pass, the wind was no factor at all.
Yeah, that's been the Achilles heel of the Berries this season, is sometimes those passes out of nowhere that go long, we haven't been able to stop, and Kokomo may have seen that on the film and hopped right on it to start this game.
Yep, 29 yards on that pass play to Julian Wallace, and just like that, Kokomo is in business in Logansport territory. 1st down and 10 at the Berries' 46-yard line. Now Rabos will hand off to not much running room that time, as it was Deshaun Winston getting to about the 44-yard line, give him 2 yards on that carry. So a good push by the Berries defense on that play.
Yeah, and that's something the Berries have done well all season, is that rushing defense and the line getting penetration, and we're going to need some of that tonight.
The officials actually gave Winston a pretty good spot, giving him 3 yards on that carry. I didn't think he was even close to that, but Kokomo will take it. So it's 2nd down and 7 for the Wildcats. They have it at the Logansport 43-yard line. 11 minutes to play, just underway here on homecoming night at Logansport. No score between the Berries and the Wildcats. Rabos back to pass. Pass is overthrown. Brady Weesey was in the area. He was well covered. Oscar Grimaldo in on the coverage. And that pass had very little chance of succeeding with great pass coverage that time from Grimaldo.
And this is unlike any offense we've really faced all season. We got a little bit of taste of this against McCutcheon a couple weeks ago, but Kokomo doing dark all over the field.
Using that read option. Marion did use the read option a little bit last week, but that was to set up the run, not the pass. So this is, like you said, something the Berries have not seen so far this season. 3rd down and 7 for the Wildcats. They need to get to the 36-yard line to get a 1st down. Rabos back to pass. The pass is caught by Stephen Edwards, but in to make the stop is James Burnell. Nice open field tackle that time from Burnell. As Stephen Edwards was one-on-one, but a great play over there on the far side by Burnell.
Yeah, it looked like Edwards might get away, but man, Burnell did a good job of wrapping him up there.
Held him to just a 2-yard gain, so it's 4th and long. From this spot on the field, though, into the wind. Kokomo, I think, making the right call by going for it. 4th down and 5 at the Logansport 41-yard line. So here is a big play early in this contest. 10:45 to go. A chance for the Berries to come up with a big stop, and Rabos tried to get him to jump offside. Good patience that time from Goody, who was chomping at the bit on that left defensive end. They put a pass rush on, but he's able to stay out of the neutral zone. Now the play clock running down, 3 seconds. Still time, though, for the Wildcats to get this one off. They do just get the ball off. Ramos back to pass. Edwards is open. The pass is overthrown. Point in the direction of James Burnell. There was some contact, but I don't think enough to warrant a flag. So a good no call, in my opinion, by the officials. And the Berries stopped them on down. So this is a great defensive stop by the Berries after giving up that big play.
Yeah, and this is what we've seen from Logansport all year is, a big play here and there, but for the most part, doing a great job, especially when their back is up against the wall.
So the Berries now with their first offensive possession in great starting field position at their own 41-yard line, and they must take advantage of the win here in this first quarter and try to get some points on the board. Barron rolls out to pass. He's under heavy pressure, puts the ball down and run, and is able to get some positive yardage as there was no open receivers. Jacob Cox and Oscar Grimaldo were in the pass pattern, but they were well covered. And so Barron turned something or nothing into something, getting 3 yards on that first down carry. And he saw right away that he didn't have anybody open, and he was running out of time. So he tucked that ball under and made some nice gain on first down.
You just see more confidence out of him every week and better decision-making.
2nd down and 7. Miles Dungy in at fullback with Grimaldo in at running back. He'll get the handoff around the right side. The ball is loose, and Kokomo comes up with it as that was a big hit by the Kokomo Wildcats defense. And I believe that was Juvius Gray who put a big hit. And now we got a man down for the Berries.
And it's Grimaldo, too.
And it looks like he's holding his left leg, and he took a big hit. And this is not the kind of start the Berries wanted. The worst possible thing that could have happened.
Yeah, Grimaldo.
Injured one of their key players.
Yeah, Grimaldo's had a monster season so far, and had a few fumbles, and another one here about that 43-yard line, but he got clobbered. He's still on the ground as they're out attending to him.
Yep, he did. Was able to take his helmet off, communicating with the training staff. They are focusing on that left leg. It looked like at first he was holding his hamstring, but now the trainer is working on that left ankle. You hope maybe it's just something as little as a turned ankle, you hope, but he's still on the turf in lots of pain, and athletic director Brian Strong comes out now. He's going to be able to get up, so hopefully that's all it is. But that was a big hit, and he's not even going to be able to put any weight on that leg at all. So this is not a good start for the Berries. Already down without Josh Manford in that backfield. So,
and Grimaldo's the kid who does it, in every part of the game. Whether it's offense, plays a ton of defense and special teams, and a real electric player. And hopefully it's something small where he can get back out there.
Yep. So he's wanting to sit up. The trainer has said, no, sit down, lay back, and we'll take a look at him. So Kokomo, 1st down and 10 at the Logansport 43-yard line. And now we got a man in motion jumping offside is Julian Wallace. And I get the feeling that he was the intended receiver on that pass. He couldn't wait to get down out on the pass pattern to get open. So 5-yard mark off against Kokomo. Moves them back to the 48-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 15. 10 minutes exactly to play here in the first quarter. No score between Logansport and Kokomo. We've been in action for about 9 minutes, and only 2 minutes of game action have gone off the clock with some penalties. And the handoff to Winston inside the 45-yard line, down to about the 41-yard line. 7-yard gain on 1st down. So following the penalty will be 2nd down and 8. 9 minutes, 40 seconds to play. No score between the Berries and the Wildcats. Kokomo with their 2nd possession of the night following the Oscar Grimaldo turnover. Ramos back to pass. Man is open, caught by Wallace, puts a stiff arm on Trujillo. Trujillo that brings him down, but a gain to near the 30-yard line. It'll be enough for a 1st down for Kokomo. As the training staff, they're wrapping that left ankle of Oscar Grimaldo, so all things considered, to only have an ankle injury, that's about as good as we could have expected, especially the way he was on the ground as long as he was in obvious pain.
Yeah, and like the way they're wrapping it, hopefully he can be able to get that shoe back on, and maybe they will get him back in there.
Yep, yeah, an ankle obviously much better to hurt than a knee. So 1st down and 10 for Kokomo. Ramos hands off to Winston. Winston is brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Tucker Platt brings him down. Winston may have fallen forward for a yard down to the 30. It will be 2nd down and 9. And good to see Josh Manford by the side of his teammate on the sidelines, trying to keep Grimaldo encouraged. But yeah, the way that they're working on that, Steve, they're going to try and get him back in there, at least it looks like it from here. A 1-yard pickup on first down for Kokomo. Second down and 9. Now in the backfield for Kokomo is Jeremy Baker with 2 men out to the right, 1 man split out to the left. Rabos will hand the ball off to Baker, and he's going to be brought down for a loss. The ball is loose, and it looks like Steve Mendez came up with it, and they're going to say he was out of bounds before he got possession of the football. That is, boy, Coach Garmer is furious, and I don't blame him. It looked like that happened right in front of the Logansport bench. It certainly looked like he had possession. Now, we were blocked by the players here. We didn't exactly see where the sideline was, but it certainly looked like it from here. And Coach Garmer and Coach Johnson upset as they are standing literally feet away from that play.
Yeah, they are. Oh, man.
But a big loss for the Berries is on defense, so that sets up Kokomo 3rd and long, 3rd down and 14 from the 35-yard line. The Berries obviously would much rather have the football, but their defense has to get it done here. 3rd and 14. Rabos from the gun, back to pass, under heavy pressure. The pass is going to be caught by the tight end. Nope, he bobbled it and dropped it. Incomplete. James Buffkin, the intended receiver. Miles Dungy with the excellent coverage. And that will bring in the punt unit for the Kokomo Wildcats. But Logansport has to be careful because the punter is the quarterback, Levi Rabos.
Yeah.
So a fake punt is always a possibility, especially from this position on the field. Now Oscar Grimaldo has left the training table. He's sitting on the bench and trying to put that shoe on. You know, when you turn your ankle, it's best to try and get that shoe right away. Yep. And try to walk on it, keep that swelling down if at all possible. If they can keep the swelling down, he has a chance to get back into this game. Here's a line drive kick from Rabos. He's going to take a bounce on the carpeting. Kokomo tries to save it, but it will go into the end zone for a touchback. And now we got a flag on the play. They're thrown well after the coverage. And they're pointing in the direction, I'm not sure who he's pointing to. Maybe something extracurricular between Steve Mendez and Levi Rabos. Maybe something was said, I'm not sure, but that flag was thrown very late by the referee after the ball had gone into the end zone for a touchback. So we'll have to wait and see and sort this out. Coach Johnson talking with the side judge here on the Berry sideline, wants to know what's going on. We got illegal substitution on Kokomo. Another scene, do they want them to re-kick it or just take it at the 20? And I think Coach Johnson's going to decline. I think that's a good call.
Good deal, good deal.
So Logansport will take over 1st down and 10 at their 20. Grimaldo is on the sidelines, but he's going to try and run on that, and he's favoring it a little bit, but yeah, I would think maybe wise at least to sit him out for a series to see if he can get him, because he is looking pretty good though. So hopefully he'll be able to return. 1st and 10 for the Berries. As Drake McLaughlin. And would it be Eli Wickersham? Yep, it is Eli Wickersham in the game. Hand off to Dungy, and he goes nowhere. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Good penetration that time by that Kokomo front. Jeremiah Neal in on the stop.
Yeah, and last time we saw Miles Dungy, he was having one of his best games of the season before he got hurt. So nice to see him moving well again.
Here's Evan Vizcarra. He will come in on this 2nd down play for the Berries. 2nd down and 10 for Logansport. 7:45 to go, 1st quarter. No score here between Logansport and Homecoming on Homecoming night at Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium. In motion now is Wickersham. He'll get the handoff around the left side, and nothing doing again as he is hit in the hole and dropped backwards. Jay Brian Adams in on the stop. They will give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage, and that is all. So 3rd down and 10 for the Berries. And we have not seen defense like this prior to last week against Marion. So far this season, Kokomo doing a great job controlling the line of scrimmage here in the early going.
Yeah, great containment on that outside as Eli didn't have anywhere to go. And that defensive line is big and strong and getting a nice push so far.
So Brandon Goodman comes out way wide with Eli Wickersham in the slot right. So 2 receivers out to each side of the formation. A bad snap, but Brandon's able to handle it. The pass is going to be overthrown, and he really put something into that one. But good coverage by the Wildcats as Eli Wickersham was double covered down there. And the 3 and out for the Berries. And we'll see Jacob Cox in to punt. And Jacob's done a great job punting, and he'll have the wind at his back. So we'll see what kind of foot he can put into it. Stephen Edwards, a very dangerous return man in for Kokomo, standing back about his own 40.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they put this one out of bounds, took it out of Edwards' hands.
Yep. And I think Coach Johnson was telling Jacob to do that a week ago against Marion, so we'll see. As hurrying into the game is Carson Lopasser. So 4th down and 10 for Logansport. Jacob Cox in punt formation. Good snap. Cox, a nice high kick. Edwards goes back to his 38-yard line to get it, and he falls down, and he goes stopped right there at the 40-yard line. That might have been a good thing. Look, he had something, had some room on that left side of the field.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a little luck, and we got some of that on that play.
Yep, no question about it. So they will give him forward progress out to the 41-yard line. That's where Kokomo will start their 3rd offensive possession at the 41-yard line. 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go here on a cool Friday evening at Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium. Homecoming 2018 between the Berries and the Wildcats. 2 to the top of the screen, 2 to the left, 1 to the bottom of the formation. For the Wildcats, Rabos fakes the pass. The pass is going to be caught and brought down immediately. A big hit that time by James Burnell, who puts a big lick on Brady Weesey. We've seen Burnell with a couple of nice tackles here in the early going. Burnell, all 5'8", 150 pounds of this. That is one tough kid.
Yeah, he is.
Just a junior, so he'll be counted on for big things next year for the Berries.
And he's a kid who didn't play a lot earlier in the season.
No, he didn't.
But, this coaching staff has shown, hey, if you prove you can get it done, we're going to give you more and more time.
Yep, so he's earned his minutes. So 2nd down and 10 following that no gain for the Wildcats. Rabos in the spread. A handoff to Winston. Winston is hit hard. Big hit that time. Jackson Crowd. And Steve Mendez in on the stop. No gain. And if you like defense, this has been tailor-made. Great defense other than that one big play for Kokomo early.
Just some big in-the-trenches football so far this game. And, neither team really able to get their offense clicking so far.
So it will be 3rd down and 10 for the Wildcats. Clock moving, 5 minutes, 30 seconds to play here in the first quarter. No score between Kokomo and Logansport. And now the Wildcats taking a long time in the huddle. Down to 10 seconds to go here on the play clock. Still should have plenty of time to get this one snapped. 3rd and long for the Wildcats with 2 receivers to the right. Rabos back to pass. He's got good protection. Puts it up for grabs. The pass is going to be caught by Stephen Edwards. He breaks the tackle. Flag on the play. Breaks another tackle. Still on his feet. Inside the 25. Inside the 20. He's been brought down at about the 17-yard line. We'll have to wait and see. Looked like it was pass interference. Logansport's coaching staff confident that it's against Kokomo, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's what I'm
sort it out.
Too.
Looked like
it's a heck of a catch, too.
Yes, it was. And there's going to be defensive pass interference as Kokomo will decline it. So another big pass play for the Wildcats. And ball all the way down to the 17-yard line. So a big play on 3rd down and 10. And that has been the story of this Logansport season. The defense has been outstanding, with the exception of giving up a few big plays here and there.
And most of them passing plays.
Yes.
Man.
So, 1st and 10 Kokomo. They have it at the Logansport 17-yard line. 4:44 to go, first quarter, no score. Rabos now hands off to Jeremy Baker. Baker inside the 10, still on his feet. Baker will have a 1st down all the way down to the 5-yard line, where it will be 1st down and goal for Kokomo. This is made doubly more painful because of the fact that the Berries have had the wind here in this first quarter, not able to take advantage of it.
And once again, penalties and not taking care of the football is really coming to hurt us here in this game.
Kokomo has it, 1st down and goal at the Logansport 5-yard line. Rabos will keep it himself. The ball is loose. He does recover it. Great play that time by Brandon Goodman. Lost all the way back to the 11-yard line. Big play that time from Brandon Goodman. Boy, do the Berries need that.
And I don't know what it is about tonight, Joe, whether these guys are just hitting hard or maybe just getting adjusted to the cold or whatever. But, man, that football is flying all over the place.
Yep. So lost back to the 11. 2nd down and goal for the Wildcats. We are inside of 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter. No score on homecoming 2018 between the Berries and the Wildcats. Now Wallace comes out to the left. In the slot will be Cole Beard. Stephen Edwards out to the right. Now Kokomo looks like they will take a timeout, and there's their first charge timeout of the half. They will have 2 remaining. That comes at the 3:39 mark here in this first quarter. And maybe so. Maybe we had some fabulous weather this week, nice and warm, and this cold front came through at the last minute. Maybe it's the dramatic shift in temperature that's causing the ball to be loose tonight.
Yeah, maybe we can get some of those Patriots staff members to come to play these footballs a little bit, make them a little bit easier to handle.
Yep, I'd definitely be in favor of that. As the cooler weather certainly has not diminished this crowd. People just continue to file in. It seems like this is an outstanding crowd, the biggest of the season, I think.
Yeah, no doubt. And there are not a lot of open spots, especially right here in front of us. It is jam-packed. Even the far left side over there is packed.
Yep, and so a lot of people across the way as well, up on the hill, are taking this. As many people have we seen on the hill all season long as well. So we'll see what Kokomo came up with during their timeout. 2nd and goal from the 11. 3:39 to go, first quarter. Logansport and Kokomo in a scoreless tie. Rabos in the shotgun with Jeremy Baker. One setback behind him. Now Edwards in motion. They fake the handoff. No, they do give it to Edwards. Edwards around the left side inside the 10-yard line. Tucker Platt on the stop. They'll mark him down around the 8-yard line. So good play that time from Tucker Platt, who was not fooled by that fake. And we'll set up 3rd and goal for the Wildcats.
And you wonder if maybe they do something with Edwards here and just let him go up and get one.
So big opportunity for Logansport. Following that big pass play, they would love to come up with a big goal line stand here. As we wind down toward the 3-minute mark of this first quarter, no score. Logansport and Kokomo, the Wildcats once again in the shotgun formation with Rabos. And Winston, the setback to his right, tried to get the Bears to jump offside. They weren't having it. They're going to have to hurry. Play clock all the way down to 2. And they will not be able to get that one off, and they will have to take their second charge timeout. And I know that's not what the coaching staff wanted for Kokomo.
Yeah. And Logansport just showing them something that they didn't like there, and that could give us an advantage here as the first half progresses.
Yep, no question about it. No, timeouts are not as big a deal in the first half as they are the second half, but still, you hate to waste a couple timeouts, especially on almost consecutive plays here toward the tail end of this first quarter.
And that gives Coach Johnson another chance to talk to his defense, too, as their backs against the wall here. And really, we've had pretty good red zone defense throughout the season, but this is a big play here.
Yep, no question about it. So 3rd down and goal for Kokomo. They have it at the 8-yard line with 2 minutes and 51 seconds to play. No score between Logansport and Kokomo. Glad you could spend part of your Friday night with us here on AM 1230 WSAL Logansport. Rabos in the shotgun. Back to pass. Pass is going to be incomplete, and a great play once again by James Burnell. Julian Wallace lost his footing, went down to his knee, still almost made the catch. But Burnell made sure that there was no completion, and he has been outstanding here in this first quarter.
You know, it's all about making the best of your opportunities, and Burnell is having his best game of the season already here in the first quarter.
Yep, and drawing the big play receiver, Julian Wallace, for Kokomo, and he's done a pretty good job. So now Kokomo will try a field goal. So this unusual from the end of the wind with Angelo Flores, 5'10" junior. Obviously, they have some faith in this junior kicker. On the left hash, that's the side of the field the kickers prefer, but into the teeth of a strong wind, so he must have a strong leg. Snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up, and the kick is good. It didn't make it by much, but didn't need to. So nice kick into the wind, absolutely impressive. So a 25-yard field goal from Angelo Flores, and Kokomo draws first blood, 3-0. But that showed just how strong this wind was as it left his foot. He had to put good foot into it, but that wind nearly knocked it out of from the goal post. But a Kokomo field goal is good, and they are on top 3-0 with 2:41 to go here in the first quarter. So obviously that kid's got a heck of a leg.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. And about any other team we would play, they would, go for it in that situation. But Kokomo just trying to get some points on the board here, and probably the best idea.
Mm-hmm. And no hesitation whatsoever from the coaching staff. So obviously he has shown a reliable kicker for the Wildcats. And that certainly could come into play as we proceed throughout the course of the game, especially when the Wildcats have the wind at their back.
And the good news, Oscar Grimaldo is in that back lane here, so really nice to see him back on the field.
Skylar Trujillo is also back there, and Drake McLaughlin. So usually we see Juan Alvarado in that spot, but Drake McLaughlin has it, but the Berries up back's got to be on the alert because of this strong wind. Yes, Flores does have a strong leg, as we just saw, but it's going to be tough kicking into the teeth of that wind. So he may try to keep it low. So we'll have to wait and see how Flores chooses to handle this kickoff, and he does kick it low. Picking it up on one hop, though, is Trujillo across the 30. Now cuts it to the outside across the 35, still on his feet, brought down around the 37-yard line. So that was outstanding play that time from Trujillo. He did not let that ball bounce on the turf. He picked it up and made very, very positive yardage.
And he's one of those kids in that sophomore class who just keeps playing better and better, and he's one of those electric guys when he gets the ball.
So Logansport will have it first down and 10. Ball spotted at the 36-yard line with 2 minutes and 33 seconds to play in the first quarter. Kokomo on top 3-0. A 25-yard field goal from Angelo Flores, accounting for the game's only points so far.
And Logansport really hasn't had a good offensive possession yet. This is a really crucial possession here.
Yep, Tucker Platt in at fullback. Barron rolls out to his right to pass under heavy pressure, so he will run it, and he is going to have close to the first down. We'll have to wait and see where the official spot is. Looks like the umpire is going to mark him right at the 46-yard line, and they will give him for a first down. So great job that time. That was not a designed run, I don't think, but Garrett saw a hole and decided to take advantage of that.
And I think we'll see more and more of that as he gets more confidence and starts to understand the game better, because he's got the athleticism to do it.
So Evan Vizcarra in now at quarterback for the Berries on this place. First and 10 for Logansport at their own 46-yard line. Grimaldo in motion, inside handoff to Drake McLaughlin, but he is brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Again on the stop, Juvius Gray, who has been quite a factor here in the early going, just getting back to the line of scrimmage, is McLaughlin. No gain. Second down and 10 for the Berries. Inside of 2 minutes to go here in the first. Kokomo on top 3-0 on a cool, windy night here at Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium for homecoming 2018. McLaughlin in motion to the left. He will get the pitch to the left. He's got some running room. He is close to midfield. They will mark him right at the midfield spot. The ball came loose at the last moment. Was he down? They're going to say that he was not. Kokomo comes up with it. Another turnover for Logansport. And this is really, really becoming a problem for the Logansport Berries here in the last few weeks.
Yeah, and once again, the offense is starting to get rolling there. And McLaughlin has his best run so far this game. And the Berries once again turn it over. And it's just so frustrating. You know, all the pieces are there, all the potential's there, but you got to take care of the football.
Yep. There's never a good time to turn the ball over, but especially when you're, like Steve said, you've got something positive going offensively for the first time all night, but Berries defense back on the field. Ramos back to pass. The pass is low, intended for Stephen Edwards. I think the wind knocked that one down as Edwards was wide open. That pass bounced at his feet. I think the wind had a factor in that incomplete pass. Second down and 10 for the Wildcats with 1:28 to play here. Quarter number one. Kokomo on top 3-0. At the 47-yard line as the clouds the sun begins to set behind these clouds. Darkness will soon be upon us here at Logansport. Ramos once again in the spread. Back to pass. Looks in the direction. It is caught by Weesey. Weesey tackled immediately, but a nice gain for the Wildcats on second down. Steve Mendez in on the stop. An 8-yard pickup for the Wildcats. Gets them to the Logansport 45-yard line where it will be third down and 2. And Kokomo to the line of scrimmage in a hurry. They're ready to run their next play. So the Berries a big third down here to try and keep Kokomo from getting a first down. And there's going to be a big hit for a loss. Nice play that time by Steve Mendez.
And these last two plays, he has just smashed some guys.
And Deshaun Winston had no place to go. He's lucky that he held on to the football. Mendez hit him immediately.
Yeah.
Loss of 3 back to the 48-yard line. Wildcats look like they're going to go for it, and they are, as Ramos just went over to the sideline to get the play call from the coaching staff. Fourth down and 5. Clock is running. 35 seconds to go here in the first. Wallace out to the left. 2 receivers to the right. Ramos in the shotgun on this fourth down and 5 for the Wildcats. Ramos back to pass. He's got a man wide open. The pass is going to be bobbled and caught. Is he inbounds? And they're going to say that he was inbounds. Stephen Edwards, now they say no. I was going to say, that did not look like he had his foot in bounds. He bobbled it initially. When he did secure that reception, he was out of bounds.
Man, a huge break for the Berries.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the Berries stop them on down. So again, Logansport's defense doing all they can And it'll be first down look for Logansport at the 48-yard line, their own 48, with 19.2 seconds to play.
And that's twice they've put Edwards right there on that sideline, and that's been an issue for him.
Yep, so the coaching staff definitely will have to make some adjustments. First and 10 for Logansport at the 48-yard line. Miles Dungy back in at fullback on this possession for the Berries. Barron will roll out. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to be tackled for a loss. Miles Lenore in on the stop. A loss of a yard back to the 47, and that will be the final play of this first quarter. At the end of one, it is Kokomo 3, Logansport nothing. We'll step aside for a break. When we return, we'll have our second quarter. There's more coming up live from Logansport.
It's the end of the first quarter, and this is Berries football on WSAL. We'll get back to the game after these messages.
Logansport Savings Bank, we're leading the way.
Hi, this is Joshua at Logansport Savings Bank, and we're leading the way in growing our community. With the right team, you can accomplish your desired goals. Bank with us and join our team in impacting our community. Contact us at 722-3855 or at logansportsavings.com. Good luck to all of our local athletes.
Direct Maytag in Logansport is your home for Maytag and Whirlpool appliances. We're bringing expanded color, finish, and handle options to our lineup of appliances, so you can find the Whirlpool model with the right features for your family and the right look for your home. At Direct Maytag in Logansport, supporting Berries Athletics on WSAL. WSAL coverage of Logansport Berries football continues as we are about to start the second quarter of the game. Here's Joe Stetz and Steve Isaacs.
Thank you very much, Alan James. Welcome back to Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium. Ready for the first play of the second quarter. Logansport trailing 3-0. Berries really struggling offensively. A couple of critical turnovers have really hurt the Berries here in the early going. Kokomo, though, not been able to take advantage thus far, although they've had a couple of big pass plays. And put a 25-yard field goal from Angelo Flores to account for the game's only points. As Coach Gomer having quite an extended conversation with the side judge on the near side. Not sure what the break is for, but I think we're ready to go. I think maybe the homecoming queens, they need to keep them out in that cool air a little bit longer here tonight. I'm not sure. In motion now is McLaughlin. He'll get the pitch around the left side, tries to set up his blockers, does so, and is able to get some positive yardage out near midfield. A minimal gain of only 2, and that will make it 3rd down and 8 for Logansport as Vizcarra comes to the sideline and Garrett Barron replaces him. So now the Berries have to work into the wind here in this second quarter. Unfortunately for them, they were not able to take advantage of the wind at their back in that first quarter. So we'll see what the Berries come up with. 3rd down and 8. And the handoff. Nope. Garrett Barron fakes the handoff. He's got a man open. Jacob Cox and is just overthrown. And that was thrown nicely between 2 Kokomo defenders, but just overthrown. And that will bring out the punt unit for the Berries.
Yeah, once again, Logansport just struggling to get anything going. And that pass just a little bit off there. And Cox was open in between 2 guys.
So Jacob Cox in punt formation. Stephen Edwards, single safety to receive this punt for the Wildcats. He's standing at about the 20-yard line. I'd like to see Jacob just a line drive kick and kick it out of bounds off the side of his foot.
Oh, no.
It will not take much of a roll either. It does take a slight Logansport bounce, and that will be down at about the 41-yard line. So not much of a punt that time, unfortunately, for the Berries. A net punt of just 9 yards. That's not what Jacob was hoping for. And you wondered if maybe the wind maybe affected it. Before he even kicked the ball.
Yeah, blowing back at you.
Yeah, that's what it looked like from here. So not a good punt for the Berries, unfortunately. And the Wildcats will take over 1st down and 10 at the 41-yard line. And the back judge just threw a ball over the Berries sideline. So that's an impressive arm from that dude. Back to pass. Another handoff to Winston. Winston is hit immediately. He's able to fall forward for a couple yards out to the 44-yard line. Gain of 3. on that play as we make an adjustment here on the fly.
Getting the mood lighting going.
There you go. 2nd down and 7 for Kokomo. They have it at their own 44-yard line. Clock running, 10 minutes and 45 seconds to play. 2nd quarter. The Wildcats on top of the Berries 3-0 in a game dominated by defense with the exception of a couple big pass plays from this Kokomo Wildcat offense. Bravos in the shotgun. Hands the ball off to Jeremy Baker, and Baker is going to be brought down close to the line of scrimmage. He may have fallen forward for a yard. Tucker Platt with a nice tackle in the open field. Yep. Setting up 3rd and long for the Wildcats.
And once again, that ball looked a little bit loose there with Baker. If Logansport could have hit, they could have probably knocked it loose. And looking at the stats from that first quarter, Kokomo with 103 yards of offense, but still just 3-0.
So the Wildcats have it. 3rd down and 6 from their own 45-yard line. 2 receivers come out to the right. And Julian Wallace split out wide to the left. And Rabos in the shotgun. Back to pass is Rabos. Now we got a fly pattern. Edwards is open. The pass is just overthrown. As James Burnell didn't have bad coverage, but Edwards is a couple yards behind him. That would have been an easy touchdown if that had been on target.
Yeah, he's so fast. And, man, Kokomo just had all these passes just a little bit off, and you wonder if maybe the wind hasn't factored into that.
I think there's no question about that. But it falls incomplete for the Berries, fortunately. Be 4th down and 6. And Ramos will punt this away as Oscar Grimaldo drifts back to about his 25-yard line. And you got to be on the alert for a fake, but the way Kokomo's defense is played, I would, especially with the wind at their back, I would expect Ramos to kick this one away. Well, Coach Gomer is not exactly sure, so he is going to take a timeout just to make sure the Berries are alert and heads up, especially from this position on the field. A fake is always a possibility.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And, you know, every play is critical here. It'd be really nice if Logansport could get the ball back here, make a nice drive, and maybe get some points on the board before the half.
So taking a look at the first quarter numbers, the Berries 8 rushes for just 18 yards, attempted 1 pass and did not complete. So 9 plays and just 18 yards of total offense in that first quarter. Kokomo's defense has been outstanding.
Yeah, and those 2 fumbles, you know, the biggest glaring stat is the Berries lost both of those. And, you know, to be in this spot in the game with 2 fumbles and Logansport and Kokomo really not able to put the ball in the end zone yet, you got to feel pretty encouraged if we can get something going. You know, we could take a lead here.
Yep, especially with Kokomo dominated time of possession as well in that first quarter. Nearly 8.5 minutes of possession time in that first quarter, just 3.5 for Logansport. Ramos and the punt is blocked by Jacob Cox, and the Bears will start in great field position. Jacob Cox with a huge play to block that punt.
And a real heads-up play. Cox with a really nice block there, and then they scooped right in there and picked it up and got it in a really nice spot on the Kokomo 30-yard line.
Yeah, I think that was Braden Geyer who fell on that loose ball. So the Bears will have it 1st down and 10 at the Kokomo 30-yard line. And this is a golden opportunity for Logansport to get on the scoreboard with their best starting field position of the night. So heads up to Coach Gomer. He might have to call a timeout before every punt. That was outstanding. Now counter handoff. The ball is on the carpet. And another turnover for the Berries, their 3rd of this first quarter. Coming up with it was Jabrayan Adams. It looked like there was just a little bit too much separation that time between Barron and McLaughlin as that handoff just was not smooth.
Yeah, once again, Logansport with a grand opportunity and fumbles the football on the first play. And, man, I don't know what to say, Joe.
Yeah, it's
oh, man.
And I know they've been talking about it. I know that they've been working on it because it's been an issue the past couple of weeks. So the 3rd fumble for the Berries here in the first 14.5 minutes of play. Kokomo, just like that, has it 1st down and 10. Wallace catches it, a bubble screen on the pattern. He is brought down after a short gain. But he did get out to about the 37-yard line, a gain of 3, make it 2nd down and 7. But boy, it just takes the life out of you. You get a great play on special teams, great starting field position, and the very next play you give it right back to the Wildcats.
And you just got to keep everybody in the game, especially this defense who, you know, keeps making these defensive stands and, you get to Kokomo to punt the ball, and then you end up right back out there. You just got to stay in the game. You can't give up a big play right here.
2nd down and 7. Winston gets the handoff. He is hit right at the line of scrimmage. Brandon Goodman throws him back. No gain on the play. We got a flag coming in late, and it looked like Kokomo may have had some extracurricular after the whistle, because I saw Steve Mendez go flying, and they're pointing in the direction of Kokomo. And if that is after the play, that the down may count, but it looked like a personal foul. As was said, Steve Mendez was pushed after the play was over. So it's a personal foul on Kokomo. Will the down stand? It should, because it looked like it was after.
Yeah.
So 15-yard mark off. We'll take this back to the 22-yard line. I'm trying to see the chain gang as they move it back, but it looks like the down will count. So it will be 3rd down on that dead ball. A critical mistake by the Wildcats.
Man, they are way back now.
Yes,
25 yards to go. And they're going to throw a bomb here.
Oh, yeah.
At some point. So you really got to be looking for that.
Ball spotted at the 22-yard line of Kokomo. They need to get to the 44-yard line. And now there's a little bit of discussion on whether or not the down should count, but I think it was a dead ball foul. I think that, yep, chain gang is on the ball as I expected. 3rd and 22. Kokomo at the 22-yard line needs to get to the 44-yard line to get a 1st down. Edwards out to the right. Wallace split out to the left. Ramos in the shotgun. Ramos back to pass. They're going to set up a screen. It is deflected, and it is intercepted by Logansport. What a play.
Wow.
Coming up with the interception, I believe, was Brandon Goodman. And who made the deflection? Was that Jacob Cox? I think it was.
Wow, man.
Goodman with the interception, and Logansport has a 1st down and goal at the 6.
And Cox with a couple of huge plays on defense here in this first half. And the Logansport defense,
again,
if we can't get it done on offense, we'll do it on defense, and has given the offense the ball at the perfect spot here at about the 6-yard line.
Yep, and at the very worst, they're in field goal range, even though that strong wind in Juan Perez's face. But they have an excellent chance to get on the board with 8:37 to go. And a sloppy, mistake-filled game from both sides. Kokomo with some penalties and Logansport with some turnovers. But Kokomo just turned it over, and the Berries have it 1st and goal at the 6. Hand off to Miles Dungy. He's got some running room initially inside the 5. The hole closed in a hurry. Looked like that was a big hole, but Kokomo closed it, but still a couple of yards gained for Miles Dungy on 1st down. 2nd and goal at the 4. Clock running, 8 minutes, 15 seconds to play first half. Kokomo 3, Logansport nothing, but the Berries have it 2nd down and goal at the Kokomo 4-yard line. Evan Vizcarra in to play quarterback on this play for the Berries, with Miles Dungy in the fullback position behind him. Grimaldo in motion. Vizcarra will keep it himself. He's got some running room, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Evan Vizcarra, 4-yard touchdown run, and the Berries are on top 6-3 as they take advantage of that turnover.
I love that play call. We had some success, with the quarterback sneak the past couple of weeks, and Vizcarra just followed his center right in there and finished with a touchdown.
Yep, I think the Kokomo may have lost sight of him behind the big fellas up front, and then he was able to sneak off to the left and get into the end zone. Juan Perez to try the point after. Snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up, and the kick is no good. So wide to the right, looked like it was good, but just went wide to the right. But the Berries do take advantage of that turnover, and they have taken a 6-3 lead here at the 7:57 mark in quarter number 2.
And I think we've got about 30 or maybe 40 yards of total offense, and able to get 6 points out of that is pretty bizarre.
Coach Gomer brings his special teams unit over. This is a tough one now for the Berries, as they got to kick it into the wind with those dangerous Kokomo return men. They've got to be on the alert here.
Yeah, real critical here. And now you have to kick it inbounds, but we'll see if he just kicks it deep here or if they try something else here.
Yep, so we'll see. I'm sure that they're instructing Juan to try to kick it low to keep it out of the wind, because if you get any kind of elevation, that wind's going to knock it right back.
That's what I'm thinking too.
So, but the Berries, though, do get on the scoreboard, as Steve Isaacs mentioned, with very, very few yards in total offense. But they have a 6-3 lead. Credit their defense and their special teams so far tonight coming up huge for Logansport. With 7:57 to go. I'm trying to look and see if we have a score from out of town, but we do not know. Although, of course, Lewis Cass and Pioneer did not start till 7:30, so that would account for that. But hopefully we'll be able to pass along some scores from those two games, as we are the only game in town in Cass County, as Caston, Pioneer, and Lewis Cass all on the road tonight. So there is one game in Cass County tonight, and it is here at Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium. Juan Perez now set to put his right foot into this one. A high end-over-end kick. He gets some pretty good distance on it, and we get, I believe the Bears are going to be offside. Coach Golfer's shaking his head. There's no way we're offside, but the official saw it different. So Perez, though, put some elevation in that kick, and it went pretty well into that wind.
Now we do have a score. Pioneer up 14-0.
Okay. Wow. Didn't take Pioneer long to score. That's something else what they've got going on in Royal Center, as the Panthers look to return to Lucas Oil Stadium and get their second straight state championship. So we'll try it again. Now from the 35-yard line, Juan Perez set to kick off. 7:57 to go. Second quarter. Logansport 6 and Kokomo 3. In what has been a slow-moving game here on Homecoming 2018. Now Perez will kick it low. It is hit by one of the Kokomo upbacks, and they've got a return set up to the left, and they've got some running room. And a nice play, though, breaking the wedge.
Nice.
And they're going to be brought down right at the 32-yard line, as that was Eli Wickersham who broke through that wedge and tackled Noah Cameron, who had some running room on that left side.
And he was able to slow him down until he got some help. And Logansport's got him put in a good spot here.
Yep. Back at the 32-yard line is where Kokomo will start this drive.
And we've got another score. Harrison up at halftime over McCutcheon, 10-0.
Okay. So the Battle of Tippecanoe County, we've seen both of those squads. I think Harrison's a little bit, but at least from what the one game that we saw, I thought Harrison's a little bit better than McCutcheon. So not a surprise to me, but McCutcheon still very much in that game, down just 10-0 at the half. Now the pass is going to be dropped that time by Cameron, who thought maybe the officials didn't notice that he dropped the ball and picked it up and started running, but the pass falls incomplete. Second down and 10 with 7:43 to go here first half on Homecoming 2018. As we see the Queen candidates in their gowns, but not just yet, as they've got some heavy blankets covering them up right now. As it's always seems like it's cold on Homecoming. I feel so bad.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for those Queen candidates that have to stand out there in those evening gowns in this cold air. Second down and 10 for Kokomo. Now trips to the right for the Wildcats. Wallace split out to the left. Ramos looks in the direction of those three wide receivers, puts the pass up, and it is overthrown. I'm not sure who he was intended to. It was well over the head of Cameron. Noah Wainscott was also in the vicinity, but not near him as well. So another incomplete pass. Third down and 10 for the Wildcats. And now Jacob Cox comes to the sideline. He'll sit this play out. Third and 10 for the Wildcats. They have it at their own 32-yard line. They need to get to the Logansport, or to the Kokomo 42-yard line for a first down. Berry's on top, 6-3. On a packed house here at Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium. Steve mentioned earlier, even the auxiliary stands to the left are pretty full. Back to pass is Robert. The pass is caught by Edwards. He is pushed out of bounds. Immediately after the catch, Steve Mendez knocked him out following a minimal gain. Only to the 35-yard line. Give him 3 on that third down play. It'll be fourth down and 7. And Kokomo, with the wind at their back, will elect to send the punt unit out. So the Berries defense continuing to do their stellar work here tonight.
And this is a big opportunity for the Berries offense. 7:32 to go in the half. If they could get another score here and go up, 12-3, 14-3, that'd be huge.
Yep. So Ramos in the punt. Oscar Grimaldo standing deep inside his own 35-yard line. This Kokomo does have the wind at their back. Wind looks like it's died down just a little bit, but still blowing pretty strong from our left to his right. And Ramos really puts a book fit into this one. And Grimaldo will track inside the 10, inside the 5. Grimaldo couldn't even find it. It is bounced dead at the 10-yard line. What a punt that time, 55 yards. Wow. As Ramos, yes, he did have the wind at his back, but he put a strong kick into that one. That would travel a long way without the wind.
Yeah, you get it up there high enough in this, and it's really going to roll.
Oh, yeah.
And Grimaldo had a hard time even finding that ball. And luckily it didn't go too deep here.
Yeah, he was doing all he could to try and get his hands on the ball because he would have had some running room if he could have gotten it. But credit Rabos with a great kick. And Logansport will start deep in their own territory at their own 10-yard line with 7:21 to go here, first half. But the Berries do lead 6-3. And now, I don't want to jinx this, Steve, but ball security is paramount
same thing.
on this possession. Grimaldo in it, wing back, along with McLaughlin. They'll give the ball to Grimaldo. Nice gain for Oscar near the 15-yard line. Out to the 14. Give him 4 yards, though, on that first down carry. Make it 2nd down and 6. As we approach 7 minutes to play here in the first half. Logansport on top 6-3. Now Evan Vizcarra in on this 2nd down play. But Coach Johnson would love at least to get a couple first downs for the Berries to try and get some field position and they'll have to punt it away into the wind if they do have to punt and keep that Kokomo offense on the bench. Now the handoff inside, not much running room for the fullback, Tucker Platt. Give him forward progress out across the 15. They'll mark him right at the 15-yard line. Only 1 yard on that gain. 3rd down and 5 for Logansport. And a big play here. This Kokomo would love to get a 3 and out and get the ball back to their offense, which should be pretty good starting field position for the Wildcats. So we'll see what Coach Johnson and his brain trust came up with on this 3rd down and 5 with Garrett Barron in at quarterback. On the handoff inside to Platt. He is going to be close to the first down. I think he's going to be just short, about a yard short or so. And I know Coach Johnson would love to go for it here, but on this spot on the field, I don't think you can gamble on this one. I agree with it. He's going to have to punt it away. You know he was tempted to try to go for it, especially only needing about a yard. But Jacob Cox will get a chance now to make up for that punt. And so off the side of his foot a little bit, but he does much better effort into the wind.
Not the worst.
No, not at all. Let's see where it is spotted, and they're going to mark it. It looked like he was going to it did look like went out of bounds right about the 45-yard line, and that's where he will spot it. So not bad at all, 26 yards into the teeth of that wind.
Man, it just feels like the most bizarre game. And you look at the scoreboard, Logan's up 6-3. It doesn't feel that way at all.
No, it sure doesn't. So Kokomo with good starting field position with the wind at their back with 5:39 to go in the second quarter. Berries, though, do lead 6-3.
And the defenses look solid. Just continue to, keep an eye out for those long pass plays going to Edwards. But Logansport doing a pretty good job of keeping everybody in check.
Yep, Edwards to the bottom of the formation, the right side. Balls to the left. Now all sorts of miscommunication for the Wildcats, but they finally get 11 men on the formation. Now Winston in the wrong spot, but his quarterback moves him over to the correct spot. The handoff to Winston. He's got some running room inside the 40, still on his feet.
Man.
Inside the 35, inside the 20, breaks the tackle, still on his feet. Inside the 10, inside the 5, he's finally brought down at about the 3-yard line. And Steve Mendez with the tackle, and Winston is down on the ground.
Yeah.
It looked like coaching staff here at Kokomo said it was a horse collar tackle. Not sure what it was, but Winston in a lot of pain.
Yeah, Mendez went down hard hit him pretty hard on that one. And some really nice blocking up ahead of him.
Mm-hmm. So the training staff tending to Winston following the biggest run of the day, of the night, I should say, by far by the Wildcats, setting up 1st and goal at the 3. But Winston in a great deal of pain. So hopefully it's not too serious. So we've seen a number of injuries here so far this season at Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium. 5:27 to play here in the first half. The Berries leading 6-3, but that lead is very much in jeopardy. And here's some good news, though, as Winston's able to get off the ground. He's going to have to be helped off the field, but and he's certainly going to try to limp off the field. Let's see. Still a number of training personnel taking a look at him as they're getting the cart ready. I think Winston would like to walk off the field under his own power, but they're going to get the golf cart out. And I think this to get him to safety. So Hopefully the injury is not too severe, but a nice run that time from Deshaun Winston, 5'8", 165-pound senior. As he is trying to limp off to the locker room. But now the training staff has the cart, and they will cart him into the locker room. Hopefully the injury's not too severe, but he is in a great deal of pain. So the Wildcats will have it first down and goal at the 3-yard line. Brabos in the spread. Jeremy Baker now in the backfield, along with Brabos. 3 receivers to the left. Now the handoff to Baker. He is hit right at the line of scrimmage, and he is pushed back. Tucker Platt on the stop. We get a flag on the play in the direction of offensive holding. We'll see decision time for Coach Johnson. I think if it's a 10-yard markup, I think you push him back. We'll see what Coach Johnson decides to do, even though they had a 3-yard loss there on first down. We'll have to wait and see. It is holding. Coach Johnson says, yep, pushing back to 10 yards. As you see James Burnell standing here on the sidelines limping a little bit. We just saw him give thumbs up to a member of his family in the stand, so hopefully his injury's not too severe, because he has been outstanding tonight for the Berries at that cornerback position.
Yeah, having one of his best games of the season.
By far. So the holding penalty, and this is a big one, marked off from the spot of the infraction, which occurred at the 6-yard line. So this is all the way back to the 16-yard line. Still first down, first and goal for the Wildcats, but now they're at the 16-yard line. And Brabos comes back to the huddle after getting the play call. But we have seen the place kicker for Kokomo, Angelo Flores, with a strong leg, so they're already in field goal range, especially with the wind at his back here in the second quarter. 4:55 to go, first half. The Berries on top, 6-3. Brabos from the shotgun. Back to pass. Got good protection. Pass is going to be caught by Edwards. Edwards breaks the tackle, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. 16 yards on the pass play to Stephen Edwards, and Kokomo on top, 9-6 with the point after to come.
Yeah, Mendez tried to wrap him up right there, but a pretty nice move, and he was able to get in the end zone.
So a 16-yard touchdown play to Stephen Edwards, and Kokomo for the second time tonight has a 3-point lead. Chance to make it 4 if Flores can tack on the point after. I'm curious to see what kind of foot he can put into it with that strong wind to his back. Here's the snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 4 minutes, 44 seconds to play, second quarter. Kokomo on top, 10-6. The Berries, though, with plenty of time, and I believe they have 2 of their timeouts left. So plenty of time for the Berries to get some points on the board before halftime.
Yeah, that would be huge. And, look for Logansport to be aggressive, push the ball down the floor here, and, hopefully all the way to the end zone. It'd be pretty hard to put a field goal in against this wind.
Oh, yeah, no question.
You got plenty of time. Use those timeouts like you said, and it'd be really nice to have a lead going into halftime here.
Well, it is homecoming here at Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium, so a slightly longer halftime show than usual, as the King and Queen will be announced. So we might have a special guest joining us here in the booth during halftime. We'll have to wait and see. On this cool night here in Logansport, it was a glorious, sunny, warm day all day. On about 5 o'clock, it turned a little bit, and it's nice and warm here in the broadcast or in the press box. No complaints, but it's a little chilly out there.
Yeah, every once in a while that door opens and gives us a nice little breeze.
Oh yeah.
But man, if you love fall and you love football, this is the night for sure.
Yep. The temperature is going to be dropping into the low 40s during the overnight, so I might have to close my windows tonight. I kept them open last night, but it might be a little bit too cold for that tonight. So Flores will put his foot into this one for the Wildcats. A high end-over-end kick, and it gets into the breeze and goes into the end zone for a touchback. So the wind certainly has been a factor here in the kicking game, and both kickers able to take advantage of that wind and get touchbacks. So a long field for the Berries, first down and 10 as they start at their own 20-yard line, with still 4 minutes and 44 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Kokomo on top, 10-6, a 16-yard touchdown pass to Stephen Edwards. And we'll see what Coach Johnson and the Berries can come up with to counter that latest score from the Wildcats. As Grimaldo and McLaughlin in the wingback position. And the handoff to Dungy. He falls forward for a couple of tough, hard-earned yards. Give him 2 only to the 22-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Berries. Logansport 3-3 on the season. And they will be at home next Friday night in the final home game of the season for the Berries, and it will not be easy.
Yeah, Lafayette Jeff coming to town next week, and they've climbed right up the rankings once again, and probably the toughest team that will play all season, and it's going to be a hard one.
Yep, no question about it. 2nd and 8 for Logansport. Vizcarra in at quarterback. Grimaldo in motion. Now the handoff to Dungy, and not much running room, only out to about the 23-yard line. So you got to credit Kokomo's defensive line. We've seen the Berries able to move the ball on the ground pretty much all season long prior to last week, but they have not been able to get much going on the ground tonight.
Yeah, that's the truth. The Logansport backs have played really well this season and had some really nice games. And, yeah, it's just been hard to get positive yards tonight. Barron with the longest run of the game with the 10-yarder.
So it'll be 3rd down and 7 for the Berries. And Barron rolls out to his left. He's under heavy pressure. The pass is up for grabs. It is bobbled and almost caught and almost intercepted. No. And I believe Kokomo comes up with it, and they do on the interception. It is Plez Lawrence. He was able to come up with that one. That was up into the air. Jacob Cox did all he could to get his hands on the ball, had it, but Kokomo took it away from him, and a big interception.
Yeah, 2 guys around him that time, and just kind of bobbling that ball and not quite able to bring it in.
So,
man.
1st and 10 for Kokomo at the 38 on the 4th Logansport turnover here in this first half. You combine that with the fact they've not been able to get anything going offensively. It's a miracle they're only down 4 points.
Yeah, and had the lead for a decent amount of time here.
So this is a danger time for the Berries, no question about it. And the Wildcats with great starting field position. Now Baker, the handoff around the left side, and he is brought down right at the line of scrimmage, and we have another flag on the play, again in the neighborhood of offensive holding. Chris White was in on the, looks like he might be in the guilty part as he was wrapped up with Miles Dungy. And the officials are discussing things. And we'll see. I just automatically assume it's a holding penalty anytime the umpire throws it. We'll have to wait and see. And it's going to be a chop block. So not a holding call, but a chop block against Kokomo. And that might, I believe that's a 15-yard penalty, not 10. Yeah. So that's another costly turnover, penalty from Kokomo, who has really hurt themselves.
They have. They've been shooting themselves in the foot a lot, and they could miss another big opportunity here.
I guess it's only 10 yards in high school, so ball spotted at the 47-yard line. It will be 1st down and 19 for the Wildcats. They have it at the Logansport 47-yard line. Now Edwards wide to the right, and we get a discussion with the officials. And
I don't like the spot.
I told you, Steve. I told you it was 15 yards. See, once like a stopwatch. I'm right a couple times a day. So a 15-yard mark off on the illegal chop block. So now it'll be 1st and 24 for Kokomo, and all the way back now to their own 48-yard line. Back to pass is Rabos. He got Edwards on a fly pattern. He is wide open and it just overthrown.
That's at least 3 times now that it's been right there for Edwards, and they can't quite get it to him. And, man, the Berries could very easily be down about 3 touchdowns right now if they could just complete a pass to Edwards deep.
But fortunately, the Berries, that falls to the turf incomplete. 2nd down and 24.
And you know it's going to him. I was getting ready to say, one of these is going to him, and they go to him on the first one. And that probably won't be the last time.
No, I think you're right there. 2nd and 24 for the Wildcats. 2:46 to go, second quarter. Yeah. Kokomo 10, Logansport 6. Wildcats have it 2nd and 24. Following that illegal chop block. Pass to Edwards is caught. Tries to make one man miss. And nice open field tackle that time from James Burnell. A nice gain for Kokomo down to the 38-yard line, back to the original line of scrimmage. It will set up 3rd down and 10. But that's good work by Burnell, one-on-one against the dangerous Stephen Edwards.
Yeah, and he's a long kid, too, and Burnell's done a really good job, even when Edwards gets the ball, at taking him down pretty quick.
Clock running, 2 minutes and 19 seconds to play first half. The Wildcats on top 10-6. They have it 3rd down and 10. They have it at the Logansport 38-yard line. They need to get to the 28. They get a first down. Tucker Platt coming in on the blitz. He is picked up. The pass is going to be intercepted by James Burnell across the 35, across the 40, still on his feet, across the 45, and Burnell is hit down around the 45-yard line. But James Burnell with the game of his young career.
We've been talking about it all half, and man, now making a massively huge play and really giving the Berries a chance with 1:57 left on the clock to maybe score before the half.
Yep, and the Berries still with 2 timeouts left. Burnell was shaken up just a little bit just a few moments ago, but obviously he's doing much better, and that interception is really going to make that.
Yeah, and that was a heck of a run after
the
interception, too.
First down and 10 for Logansport at their own 45-yard line with 1:57 to play. Here in the first half, the Berries down 10-6. Now shotgun for Barron. He hands off to Oscar Grimaldo around the right side. Makes the first man miss, but cannot get out of the way of the second man. J. Brian Adams in on the stop, right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Maybe give him a half yard on that one, but that's about it. As this Kokomo defense just continues to stymie this Logansport running game.
And in about 6 games this season, that would have probably been for positive yards. But Kokomo, their containment tonight is just making it hard to get anything on the outside or the inside.
Second down and 9 for the Berries at their own 46-yard line. Barron once again in the shotgun on this play. Hands off to Tucker Platt, and Platt is hit down short of the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard. Back to the 45-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 10.
And once again, that's something you rarely see. When you give it to Tucker Platt, you're pretty much guaranteed positive yards and usually a lot of big gains. And can't even get anything up the A-gap tonight.
Now with Logansport deferring, they will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. So that combined with down to 50 seconds and into the wind.
Yeah.
You wonder if Coach Johnson may just play it conservative and try to get into halftime down just 4, especially since Logansport will get the ball to start our second half. So we'll have to wait and see what the play call is, though, for the Berries. But first, we're going to have a timeout. Coach Johnson takes the Berries' 2nd timeout. So they will have one left with 38.1 seconds to play here in the first half.
So what do you think, Joe? Are they going to try to run it here and just play it safe like you thought, or maybe take a shot down the field?
If they had the wind at their back, if their wind was not a factor, I would say throw it. But into the wind, given the fact that there's just such little time, and not only with just one timeout left, I would expect them to run it. But maybe Coach Johnson says that's what Kokomo's going to expect us to do. May try and cross them up a little bit.
Yeah, it's been such a strange half too.
It really has.
Last thing you want to do is throw an interception for a score here.
Yep. Logansport with 3 fumbles and an interception. Kokomo with an interception and lots of penalties, but Berries hanging right in, down just 10-6.
Yeah, to have 3 fumbles and I think we're sitting at about 40 maybe yards of offense so far in this game, and to only be down 4 is really a miracle.
So we'll see what Coach Johnson decides to do here. 3rd down and 10. Barron in the shotgun, 2 receivers out to the left.
Yeah, they got Goody down here. He didn't have anybody on him.
Yep, all the way down to the numbers. Goody was uncovered. Barron back to pass. There's a man open. The pass is going to be almost intercepted. I'm not sure how.
Ooh, man.
Cole Beard didn't have it. Looked like it would hit him right on the numbers. But the pass falls incomplete. Logansport will punt it away with 31.8 seconds to go.
Of all the places to put it, I think that was about the best one. Is Coxey across the middle there.
And he was wide open, but that pass sailed just a little bit. Now limping off the field. Big old Carter Lehman. Looks like he's favoring that right leg. He's to the bench. Hopefully he's okay.
And you don't want to kick it to Edwards here,
no,
I would say. Put this one out of bounds for sure.
So Cox, a high end over and kick, and that is caught directly by the wind. And it will not be much of a punt, but that's better than kicking.
It could be worse.
Yeah, that's better than kicking it to Edwards. Yep, no question about it. So about a 12-yard punt. So Jacob Cox has had a huge night on special teams and on defense. But he has been impacted by that wind in his face with a 9-yard punt and now a 12-yard punt. But Stephen Edwards didn't get his hands on it, so I'll take it.
And 24 seconds. Does Kokomo take one more shot down the field with Edwards?
I would expect them to do so with the wind at their back and still with one timeout left. And as we've seen, Edwards has been open down the field a number of times so far tonight. He comes down to the right, guarded by Skylar Trujillo in the cover. I say guarded because the guy behind us, we usually talk about guards when we talk about that guy. Back to pass now. Under heavy pressure. The pass is going to be put up for grabs. It is caught by Wallace. He is tackled immediately. Juan Alvarado on the stop, but not until he gets down to the 35-yard line. Kokomo will take their third and final timeout here of the half with 14.9 seconds to go.
And that was pretty well played, though, because they had two guys on Edwards. They definitely were not going to let him burn us, and that opened up the underneath route.
And Juan Alvarado with a sure tackle immediately after the catch from Julian Wallace. But a nice gain for Kokomo down to the 35-yard line. And with 14.9 seconds to go.
And Kokomo's not far off their field goal range either here with the wind at their back.
Yep, absolutely. The good news for the Berries, though, Kokomo did use that third timeout, so that's when those two timeouts they had to burn early in that first quarter, late in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Really coming back to haunt them here. But if they can get a first down, the clock can stop, allow the chains to reset, and the Wildcats will be able to get to the line of scrimmage and spike it and maybe set up a field goal. But the Berries desperately need to keep Kokomo off the scoreboard here in the waning stages of the second quarter. We've seen it a couple of times in this season, Logansport giving up scores just before the intermission.
And we got a score from West Lafayette. West Lafayette on top of Lewis Cass, 28-0 with 2:15 to go in the first quarter.
Wow.
Yeah, about what we expected.
Yeah, West Lafayette is really, really good this year. First and 10 for the Wildcats. They have it at the Logansport 35-yard line. 14.9 seconds to play here in the first half. Tucker Platt comes in on the blitz. They pick him up. The pass is going to be complete to Stephen Edwards, and he gets out of bounds inside the 20. We'll see where they spot him officially. Skylar Trujillo on the stop. They'll mark him right at the 20-yard line. 9.6 seconds to go. If Kokomo doesn't get any more yards, that'll be about a 37-yard field goal. And we saw Flores kick a 25-yarder into the wind, so 37-yard with the windows back. But Kokomo, at least for the time being, looks like they're going to run a play.
Take one more shot at it.
Yep. So this is a chance for the Berries. They can come up with a big sack to thwart Kokomo here with just 9.6 seconds to play here before halftime. First and 10 for the Wildcats at the Logansport 20-yard line. Rabos back to pass. Now pump fake to Stephen Edwards. The pass is going to be caught by Stephen Edwards for a touchdown. On a 20-yard pass, a double move that time, and they got Stephen Edwards got open in the back of the secondary. And again, the Berries give up a score just before halftime. I think that's the third time this season it's happened to Logansport.
Yeah, and they had single coverage over here, and Edwards with a nice size advantage on Skylar. And, nice play. Man.
So Edwards with his second touchdown reception of the night gives Kokomo a 10-point lead, 16-6. And in to try the point after is Angelo Flores. Oh, snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up. And the kick is good with 4.3 seconds to play. It is Kokomo 17 and Logansport 6. And boy, Coach Johnson talked about that late touchdown a couple weeks ago and how it kind of deflated his team. This one really has to hurt the Berries as well.
Yeah, really, when you've stayed right with them. But the most discouraging thing, we haven't been able to get any type of offense going.
No.
So, man, that's got to be a big focus. And, Kokomo's defense, especially their rush defense, has been all over us, in our face. And, that is deflating going into the half. Man.
4.3 seconds to play here before halftime. The Wildcats with a couple of touchdowns here in this second quarter. Stephen Edwards, a 16-yard touchdown reception, and now a 20-yard touchdown reception. It is 17-6. You expect Flores just to squib kick it. And the Berries, the good news for Logansport, they will get the ball to start the third quarter. And with this long halftime show with homecoming festivities, gives the coaching staff a couple extra minutes maybe to make some additional adjustments. So we'll see what Coach Johnson comes up with. We encourage you to stay with us for the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine Halftime Show. We have a very special guest here on Homecoming 2018 from Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium. Flores set to kick it away with Grimaldo back along with McLaughlin and Trujillo. A high end-over-end kick fielded by Grimaldo at about the 7. He bobbles it. He is able to pick it up. He's got some room around his left side, but he is going to be hemmed in short of the 25-yard line, and that will bring about an end to our first half. It is Kokomo 17, Logansport 6. We'll step aside for our break. When we return, we will have our Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine Halftime Show. There's more coming up live from Logansport.
This is AM 1230 and FM 94.9 WSAL Logansport. The first half of this Berries football game is over. Stay tuned for the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine Halftime Show. We'll recap the first half statistics and talk more about the student athletes participating in fall sports. We'll be right back after these messages.
At Security Federal, the customer experience is our top priority. Like summer nights and fireflies, we go better together. Contact Security Federal for all your banking needs. Member FDIC. Don't take chances on an old heating system. More people are turning to Wilkinson Heating and Cooling. They offer more with systems as low as $125 a month. Easy to qualify financing. Second chance lifeline on qualifying equipment, plus a free furnace offer. You can trust Wilkinson Heating and Cooling in Logansport to take good care of you.
WSAL sports coverage of Logansport Berries football. It's time for the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine Halftime Show. Now back to the stadium. Here's Joe Stetz and Steve Isaacs.
All right, Alan James, thank you very much. Halftime here at Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium on Homecoming 2018. Logansport trailing Kokomo 17-6. And Steve, we have an extra long halftime show as the King and Queen get announced. So because we have an extra long halftime show, we figure why not have a special guest.
Yeah, we got Coach Skaggs from the Logansport boys basketball team with us today, and real excited about that. Let's get to talk some hoops with him. And Coach, with
I'm still trying to see who the special guest is going to be.
So, man, we feel this cold weather tonight. It's fall's just set in, and it feels like winter's right around the corner, and so is basketball season, as we've already started practice. We're about 3 or 4 weeks in now. Last year, pretty solid season overall. Berries with a really fine win-loss record, and drew a really tough first game against Zionsville, one of the top teams in the state, and came within a jump shot at the buzzer of winning that first game against Zionsville. What can you say about last season and how all that ended?
Well, I was trying to forget that game, to be honest with you. Joe,
Yeah.
Can you believe he brings it up?
I cannot. No, I cannot.
Boy, it definitely does have a feel of basketball in the air, a little chilly out there tonight. I have one sweatshirt on. I think I need to go back home at halftime and get the second one. You mentioned that we have started. There is a new rule. The IHSA put a new rule in where we're allowed to practice twice a week for 2-hour segments. But we have so many guys that are out here tonight playing football. It's still, it has a practice feel to it, but yet it doesn't. So but it gives us a chance to work with some other guys and so forth. So we're getting in the gym and trying to get guys ready and get guys in shape. And we spent a couple of days out here on the track as well after school. And so we're definitely taking steps towards getting ourselves ready. Yes.
Yeah. So I know you don't know who all the personnel is going to be or whatever, but can you kind of give people an idea of what to expect this season? We've got, could have a lot of seniors coming back this year, and and another solid ball club. Of course, Will Penny and Sam Skaggs, as they've been, playing since their freshman year, expected to have big senior seasons. What should we expect from the Berries?
Well, I hope it'll be an exciting team again. Obviously, Will and Sam have led us last year, but we do have a really, solid senior class. So we, several of these kids are multiple sport athletes, and but those guys did such a good job for us last year. I mean, it's obviously not just Will and Sam, and you know, those guys are going to have to step up, and you know, they don't score the points maybe that Sam and Will do, but their roles and that they play and accepting those are just huge, and really are definitely a big reason why we had a nice competitive team last year and look to do the same this year. So we have a couple junior kids that could figure into the mix as well. At least I hope so. We have Evan Hassett, who looks like he's about 6'7" now, had a solid JV year for us last year, and we hope he's ready to make a varsity contribution. We have Juan Alvarado. Juan's out here playing football this year for the first time. He's a little guard that could help us, and Mason Schaefer is another kid who I thought had a nice summer that has a chance to help us as well. And there's a couple sophomore kids that have really stepped up and had a nice summer for us, and Carter Davis and Malachi Pearson. So, you know, I can't give you who the starting lineup's going to be. There's a lot of those questions that still, you know, time will tell. But we're excited about where we're at and excited about who we have coming back, and definitely looking forward to the season. It's just unfortunate that we have to wait till November.
I know, right?
It's like either November 5th or 6th, you know, before we can start practice. I just wish it was like the old days, you know, where we could start October 15th and have the 5, possibly, you know, 6 weeks before we play, and not worry about so much of this stuff in the fall or in the summer. But that's not the way it is anymore.
Yeah, some tough teams in that NCC. It looks like Marion's going to be, you know, really tough this season. Richmond made a coaching change. Looked like they're going to be, you know, better than they have been in past seasons. But and now McCutcheon, you know, maybe taking a step back this year. But you know, looks like it's going to be a tough season all the way around.
Well, there's no doubt it is. The NCC is you know, obviously a very tough league, and you know, basketball-wise, there's always a good amount of talent, and you know, several guys every year from our league go on to play college basketball. So we know we'll have our hands full in our league, and you know, we'll try to prepare as we always do, and you know, try to give our guys the best shot we can at winning. I think Joe's ready to ask a question.
Well, you know, we got this new equipment. Now we can both talk. We had so many fights last year. Who gets to talk to Coach after the game? So for the sake of our safety, we had to upgrade. So I don't even get a chance to talk.
You guys look like you've upgraded here a little bit, and you guys are fairly high tech.
There you go. Talking about some of the kids coming back, you want to talk about the kids that you lost. You lost a couple of key players last year that did some great things for you, especially Elijah Crow. He was one of our favorite players. He gave you so many different things in terms of the floor game. He's going to be tough to replace.
He was, you know what, he was a really good role player, and obviously he was a solid defender for us, and you know, wasn't a kid that got hung up on seeing how many points he could score, and a lot of nights he could guard the other team's best players. So yes, he was a very solid contributor. You know, we should give a shout out to Zach White. Zach's here tonight. I saw him homecoming, and you know, Zach made some outstanding plays for us last year. Just such a smart young man with a high basketball IQ. Maybe wasn't physically the most blessed athlete that we've had here, but was able to make a major contribution. And you know, there were a lot of good plays. You think back to that sectional game, the tough one we lost against Zionsville. Zach White's 3 charges he took, and one with about 6 seconds to go, or you know, I can look back, and there was a lot of good plays, but 2 or 3 of his plays are right there at the very top.
So a college basketball season is just around the corner. Hoosier Hysteria is going to be tomorrow in Bloomington, and your son, Carter Skaggs, ripped it up last year at Washington State as a sophomore, and at one time was, I think, the number 2 or 3 3-point shooter in the whole nation. You know, what can you say about Carter and what he's expecting out there? I'm sure they've already started practice out in Washington, and sure he's excited.
Well, thank you. He's you know, they had their second practice today. They didn't get to start till Thursday. I saw Purdue and maybe IU got to start Tuesday, but I think you're allowed so many days ahead before your first game. But yeah, Carter's a junior out there, and he's obviously looking forward to the season. And you know, they have a bunch of new faces. They play obviously in a really tough league, and it's hard for Washington State to recruit with the likes of UCLA and Arizona and Oregon, some of those people. But fortunately, we get to watch about all his games on television there with the Pac-12 channel. But he acted like everything was going well out there. I texted a little bit today with Jalen Attaway, and so wished him good luck on his season and the opening week of practice. He acted like everything was going well, and wished us luck, and act like he'd try to get back to watch a game. And I didn't get to watch Jalen play in person last year, so hopefully it's tough during our season for me to be able to get away. And I talked to Matt Jennings a couple times this summer, and I'm sure Matt is getting his Grace teammates ready, and I really think they'll have a good year. They have about everybody back. So there's some former Berries playing college basketball, doing well, and obviously we talk at practice all the time, and I know you like to talk about Robert Fennessy and Romeo Langford, and fortunately or unfortunately, we saw those guys close up. I think I've seen Fennessy too much. I'll be actually happy to coach against. Now, he has a little brother that's playing, and I'm sure he's solid, but he's obviously nothing at this point in time like his older brother, who it will be interesting to see, if he starts at IU or he's coming off the bench right to begin with. But, I think IU will have a solid team. Coach Painter always does a good job. Purdue will be, I think, another good team as well, and will surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, you mentioned Attaway. He's actually going to be playing for Miami at Butler. I think it's like the second week in November, so people want to get a chance to go down and see him play actually before the high school season starts too, so that'll be nice. What do you think, Rob's main attribute is? Really McCutcheon leaned on him a ton, especially, the past couple seasons. What do you think he might be able to do to maybe even work his way into that starting role for the Hoosiers?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. If you think, when he was a freshman and sophomore, it was easy. What's his weakness? It was probably perimeter shooting. But boy, you have to say the last couple of years, he really put a lot of time and effort into that. And you really couldn't say that was a weakness, especially if you watched him play against us last year. So, I just think he has the whole package. I think he's got the right temperament. Obviously, he's blessed with the physical talent, but I think he's such a team first guy. I don't think he's obviously not hung up on points, and he's really going to play with a bunch of guys now that really can put it in the hole and can play. I think he's just an outstanding point guard and floor general. I'll be surprised if he, maybe he won't start, but I think he's going to play a lot. He's too good a player to have on the bench.
So, you mentioned Langford, and you've seen the best players come through the state, these past, however many years, 40 years or whatever. Where do you think he ranks, because you got to coach against him in that Hall of Fame Classic in a game where I thought we played pretty well. Then it was like he just came out of nowhere and wouldn't be denied. It seemed like he had every rebound. Where do you think he stacks up against guys like the Damon Baileys of the world?
Well, that's tough to answer. Thinking back on that, I thought we did some decent things in the first half of that game, and then obviously we really struggled in the second half. And I know the final score wasn't close, but I had a chance to watch him up close and coach against him that game. And then this summer, Sam had the opportunity to play on the Junior All-Stars, and they played the Senior All-Stars down in New Albany, which was a neat experience. And just in that game, you could tell when he was in the game, he just, if there's a rebound, 4 or 5 guys may be going for it, and he just gets up quicker and goes above everybody, and he gets it. He's obviously a very special athlete, and we all can't say if he's a one and done, but boy, he's pretty special. So, he obviously has the tools, and I think the ability, and he can score, the mid range. He can shoot the three. So he can really. He'll be playing at even the next level one day.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate you coming up. We could talk about basketball all night, but we got to take a break and thank the sponsors.
And we need to let you get home and get the sweatshirt before the second half starts.
Okay. Guys, thanks a bunch. Good seeing you guys, and let's get the Berries fired up and going here.
That's right.
All right, Coach Pat Skaggs, head coach, basketball coach of the Logansport Berries. Nice enough to spend some time with us here. Halftime score, Kokomo 17, Logansport 6. There's more coming up live from Logansport.
When it comes to athletic injuries, it's good to have a home field advantage. At Logansport Memorial Hospital, we're working with local schools and student athletes to build better, healthier sports teams with our new sports medicine program. I'm Sydney Sims, and I'm the new athletic trainer for your Logansport Berries. Our athletic training services, including FDA-cleared concussion screenings, will make sure that Berry athletes are able to safely perform at their competitive best. Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine is proud to be on your sideline. Go Berries!
You're listening to Logansport Berries football on WSAL. Segment 2 of the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine halftime show is next. Here's Joe Stetz.
Thank you very much, and thanks again to head basketball coach Pat Skaggs for spending time with us here at halftime. It is Kokomo on top 17-6. A couple of the scores to pass along. Pioneer on top of Knox at the half, 28-0. And we have a second quarter score. West Lafayette 30 and Lewis Cass nothing. So the West Lafayette Red Devils, highly ranked in 3A, have a chance to make a long run in that state tournament. And the Lewis Cass is seeing firsthand just how good they really are. But the Berries here, it's been a struggle with some turnovers, and they just can't seem to generate anything on the ground. Credit Kokomo with some great defense.
Yeah, this is really the first time all season that the Berries just haven't been able to get anything going on the ground at all. Just 35 yards of total offense, and that'll be the key to have any chance and to be as close as that game was all half. Kokomo scored a touchdown right before the half, but Logansport able to hang with them because of that defense.
Yep. Kokomo 243 yards total offense to just 35 for the Berries. Logansport with 3 lost fumbles and an interception and dominant time of possession, as well as Kokomo with 14 minutes to Logansport's 10 minutes. So give 15 minutes for Kokomo and just 10 for the Berries. But the Berries hanging in there, down 17-6, and they will get the ball to start this third quarter as they just now step out of the dressing room. We will step aside for a break. We'll be back with more of the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine halftime show. Once again, our halftime score, Kokomo 17 and Logansport 6. There's more coming up live from Logansport.
We're building better health and stronger student athletes with the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine Program. We're here for your home team, offering services to help get student athletes back in the game and keep them there. All delivered by our team of experts that include orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, and a foot and ankle specialist. To learn more about our services for your student athletes, visit logansportmemorial.org/sportsmedicine.
This is the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine halftime show. Let's go back to the stadium for the final segment of the halftime show. Here's Joe Stetz.
Welcome back to the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine halftime show from Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium. Kokomo on top 17-6, and it is football. And it's definitely football weather, almost basketball weather. We talked with Coach Skaggs, but there is still some baseball going on. The Chicago Cubs, a big win today, beating the St. Louis Cardinals 8-4. They now lead the Brewers by a game and a half in the National League Central. The Brewers playing the lowly Detroit Tigers, but Dr. Weather tells us that the Brewers are behind. Detroit got an early lead. They lead Milwaukee 3-2, so that would be a devastating loss for the Brewers if they're not able to get it. But the Cubs and Milwaukee both clinching a postseason berth, but neither one of them want to have to play that one-game wild card.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys that doesn't follow the regular season very well, and it seemed like the Cubs had a comfortable lead, and then I kind of tuned back in, and it's like, where'd this big lead go? What happened to the Cubs the past a couple months? But it's about that time of year where if you're kind of a casual baseball fan, or if you don't enjoy a 162-game season, this is the time to hop in. And really happy that the Cubbies are back in it once again, and hopefully they can put a nice little run together and do something.
Yeah, I do love baseball, but as a wise old man once said, they the season starts too early, it ends too late, and there's too many games in between. It is a long season, but this is the best time of the year in terms of baseball. With the Wildcats, the regular season coming to an end on Sunday, and the postseason beginning, I believe, on Tuesday is the wild card in the National League, and then Wednesday in the American League. The L.A. Dodgers trailing the Colorado Rockies by one game in the National League West. So Colorado has never won a division title. I did not realize that until I saw that a couple weeks ago. They've gotten into the wild card, made the postseason, even made it to the World Series one year. But they have never won a division championship, so this is a chance for them to make their first one. We got that from our official statistician, Blake Isaac, so thank you for that. As Coach Skaggs enjoying the warmth here in the press box.
So the pitcher the Cubs traded for a couple months ago, the Hamels guy, how's he been doing?
He's been doing very well. He won his first 4 starts. He got roughed up his last outing, but he's been huge for the Cubs.
Well, they're going to need him here soon, for sure.
Yep. So, Coach, you want to talk some more? Oh, okay. Oh gosh, this is we talked about that at the start. This is the biggest crowd on the hill we've seen so far this season.
They got a nice little bonfire over there. Maybe we should go over there after the game.
Yeah, I could be talking into that. Well, now they're listening to you too. So come on. Can you believe,
Coach?
Thanksgiving Eve will be here before you know it. I cannot wait to get a chance to talk to Coach. And now we got this nice new equipment. We both get a chance to talk to him after each game.
Yeah, it's great, and it's going to be an exciting Berries basketball season. I'm telling you right now, we'll see how many seniors they end up with, but it's going to be a very experienced ball club. And, Sam Skaggs, Will Penny, the offer's starting to come in for those guys who have worked so hard. And, we didn't talk about it real in depth, but you think about it, Logansport was a Zionsville or a Sam Skaggs jump shot at the buzzer away from beating Zionsville.
Mm-hmm.
Then they would have played Harrison on Friday night, would have probably won that game. And then you're in that, sectional championship game on Saturday night. And I was at that game. It was awful. So Logansport would have probably won that one too, but that's how close they were to that sectional championship.
And as Coach was talking about all the players coming from the junior varsity, and there are minutes to be had with Zach White and Elijah co-graduate. There's minutes to be had for some of these players. It's going to be a fun year, I think.
Yeah, we saw some guys step in last year like Eli Wickersham, Jacob Cox. They did some nice things, but that it's a big opportunity to make a splash, and I'm just excited. I've got to watch those guys at practice the past few weeks, some of them, and it's going to be a fun year for sure.
Yep. So the season starts Thanksgiving Eve at Peru, but there'll be a scrimmage prior to that, so we'll try and get that for you. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And while we're speaking of basketball, there's a special women's basketball game coming up in early December from Hinkle Fieldhouse. Ball State is taking on Butler. Nakia Penny versus Whitney Jennings on Sunday, December the 2nd. How fun is that going to be?
Man, I tell you what, if you haven't been down to a Butler girls basketball game and watched Whitney play, you're really missing it. We went down there. It didn't cost us hardly anything to go.
It was $7, I think.
Yeah, and then we could have sat right on the court if we wanted to. We sat a couple rows back, but that's just a great deal. And the game we went to, Whitney put them on her back and almost pulled out a victory. They just barely lost that game, but it'll be really cool to see them both play. We're expecting Nakia to have a good year. I believe she's in her junior season. Is that right? I think so. That'd just be really cool, and hopefully Logansport will go down there and support those girls, and it'll be a fun day.
And Ball State had a very good season last year. They came out of nowhere, had a very, very strong season, made the postseason, so hopefully good things as well in store this season for the Lady Cardinals. So, once again, our halftime score here at Homecoming, it is Kokomo 17 and Logansport 6. We will step aside for one final break here on the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine halftime show. When we return, we'll have our third quarter. There's more coming up live from Logansport.
We're building better health and stronger student athletes with the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine Program. We're here for your home team, partnering with local schools to provide on-site athletic training and direct access to care from our team of orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, and a foot and ankle specialist who know just what it takes to get student athletes back in the game and keep them there. To learn more about our on-site athletic training services, visit logansportmemorial.org/sportsmedicine.
Hello, this is Ed Schroeder, Republican candidate for Cass County Sheriff. It's high school football time in Cass County. The rebuilding continues for the Berries, and Coach Johnson is third year as head coach. Join me in cheering on Coach Johnson and the Logansport Berry football team to a successful 2018 season as they compete in the North Central Conference. Here's to a safe season of competition and sportsmanship for all student athletes. This message is paid for by the committee to elect Ed Schroeder Sheriff.
That's the halftime show, presented by Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine. The second half of Berries football is next. Now back to Joe Stetz and Steve Isaacs on your home for Berries football, WSAL Logansport.
All right, Alan James, thank you very much. We are back at Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium with 12 minutes on the scoreboard clock, getting ready to start this third quarter. Logansport did win the coin toss and deferred, so they will get the ball to start this third quarter. A long halftime show with the homecoming king and queen announced, so extra time for this coaching staff to try to get something to get this ground game unleashed, which had been very powerful all season long until last week against Marion.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, struggles here in this first half.
Yeah, we've got a good offensive line. We got backs who run well and block well. And this Kokomo, they're just playing better defense than our offense in that first half. But Logansport defense looks strong. And, maybe this is the night where they make some more of those big plays and score the touchdowns themselves.
Logansport does have the wind at their back here in this third quarter. The wind looks like it's died down a little bit, but it's still pretty strong. So Flores puts his strong right leg into it. Line drive kick, and we got a flag down as Kokomo was offside.
Man.
And there's a return man all the way down. Quintez Stuckey was a good 40 yards downfield. And I know he's fast, but that must have been the guilty party. And he's shrugging his shoulders as he's looking at the official. So that's a telltale sign that he was the one that may have jumped offside. And we've seen that quite a bit
Have
this
we
season.
ever had a season with more of this crazy kickoff stuff going on?
And Flores wants to try kick from the 40. He's trying. He almost got the official fooled, but no, they got to mark that 5 yards off back to the 35. So this will help the Berries as Flores already having to kick it into the wind. Oscar Grimaldo on the training table getting that left ankle retaped, so he is not back to return this kick. I believe that's Drake McLaughlin that has taken his spot with Alvarado and Trujillo, the other deep backs. So Flores on good kick. Takes back McLaughlin back to the 10-yard line. He's going to set up a return right over the middle, across the 20, across the 25. He is brought down near the 30-yard line, so good return that time. Now that was Eli Wickersham, beg your pardon.
All right.
Not McLaughlin, or was it? All right, well, Jim Buck Bender said it was McLaughlin, so.
I think you might be right on this
one. Okay, all right, so first down and 10 for the Berries. A nice return, and Logansport with good starting field position, and Oscar Grimaldo is out there to start this half. And he is fumbled on his first carry and got injured that left ankle, and his effectiveness has been, I think, a little bit impacted by that injury.
Yeah. But
again, credit Kokomo's defense for doing a great job as well. So Logansport first down and 10. First play from scrimmage here in the second half. Hand off to McLaughlin, and he is brought down for a loss. Another big play by Jeremiah Neal. That's the third or fourth time we have called his name tonight as Kokomo continues to punish this Logansport offensive line.
And Drake McLaughlin, he's a great back. I mean, he's had really good games all season long, but Kokomo just not giving us any holes to go through.
Loss of 4 on that play. Second down and 14. Ball at the 26-yard line. Garrett Barron will remain out there. And so with the wind at their back and second and long, Coach Johnson chooses to keep Barron in there, so we may see some passing on this second down and long. Clock running, 11 to go, third quarter. The Berries trailing 17-6. We get a flag on the play. Is it going to be a delay of game? And that's what the call is. So this second and long is now second and longer following this mark-off. So this third quarter could not start off any worse for the Berries after that good return. So Barron will... And that's going to be difficult to walk all the way over to the sideline and face the coach after you just took a 5-yard penalty. But we'll see what the Berries come up with second and 19.
We knew there were going to be some games like this. And, and still to only be down, 11 points at this point is something.
We'll see what Coach Johnson could come up with. 11:07 to go, third quarter. Kokomo 17, Logansport 6. Garrett Barron in at quarterback. McLaughlin in motion to the left. Barrett rolls out to his right. Pass is overthrown, intended for Jacob Cox. Cole Beard was in tight coverage. Had that not been overthrown, Beard may have well intercepted that one and had an easy path into the end zone. So fortunately for the Berries to overthrow that one, it will be third down and long. And Barron will remain out there on this third down play.
But I like the play call. There's nothing going on the ground right now. The only way we're going to possibly even open up the rushing game is to pass the ball and make them respect that pass. So, keep flinging it around.
Third down and 19. Brandon Goodman now split out wide to the left. Jacob Cox split out wide to the right. Barron in the shotgun. Then we're going to have a false start. Does it look like that ball was late coming out from the center? And that's exactly what it is, the illegal procedure on the Berries. As 10 men moved, and that center snap, unfortunately, was just a little bit late getting to the quarterback. And this has been a disastrous series of downs for the Berries with a loss of yardage on a running play and a couple of penalties. It is now 3rd and 24. And that's the last thing a team that's been struggling offensively needs to see on a 3rd down and 24.
Man.
With 11 minutes exactly to play. Just 1 minute has clicked off the clock here on this drive. So the Berries see what they can do with McLaughlin in the slot right. Goodman far to the right. Jacob Cox out wide to the left. Barron back to pass. He is under heavy pressure, and he is going to be sacked for a loss. Back to the 10-yard line. And if anything, that halftime break seemed to energize this Kokomo defense. As they just manhandled the Berries on that possession, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the Logansport coaching staff, they had a game plan. They had it all, drawn up, I'm sure. But, man, this Kokomo defense looks even better than they did in the first half. Man.
So Kokomo was 0-5 heading into last week. A big win over Muncie Central seems to have given this team some confidence as they have a nice lead. And Jacob Cox with a good punt with the wind at his back. Stephen Edwards fields it at the 49-yard line. Has some running room inside the 40, inside the 30, inside the 20, and he may go 15, 10, 5, and a touchdown. We got a flag on the play, though, and this one is probably coming back.
Yep.
As the flag is down at the 45-yard line. But Stephen Edwards, man, that dude's got some talent.
Yeah, he does, and we've talked about kicking it out of bounds. And Coxie with his best kick probably of the game.
Oh, yeah.
And, but, man, giving it to Edwards in that open field, he is so fast and so elusive.
So it looks like the illegal block occurred at the 35-yard line, so it'll be a 10-yard mark up, but that's still excellent starting field position for Kokomo. If the Berries are able to come back and pull this one off, they'll remember that play. The touchdown that was called back because of an illegal block.
And the way this game has been going, with the Logansport's offense having so much trouble getting going, Kokomo could get one more score and possibly ice this game. So this is a critical possession for this defense.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. So the ball after the penalty will be spotted right at midfield. So that's about where Stephen Edwards fielded the punt. So this is where Kokomo will take over. 1st down and 10 at midfield in a very slow-moving third quarter so far. 10-10 to go. Wildcats on top, 17-6 in the shotgun. Is Rabos. Pass to Edwards in the flat. Makes one man miss inside the 45. Inside the 40, he'll have a 1st down to about depending on the spot. Oscar Grimaldo in on the stop. But not before. A nice gain on 1st down for the Wildcats and another 1st down. And Kokomo just seems to be exerting their will ever so slightly as this game has progressed. Knocked out of bounds was Edwards, so the clock stopped with 10:03 to go here in the third. Kokomo on top, 17-6. We'll see what Logansport can come up with. Their defense played pretty well for the most part in that first half. They need to come up with a big stop here. Handoff to Baker. He's got some running room, and he may go 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. We got a flag on the play. As James Burnell and Weesey were locked up at about the 30-yard line. We'll have to check and see what the flag is. It's a 39-yard touchdown run, and they're going to say it goes against Weesey.
Really?
On an illegal block. I saw the official pointing in the direction of Kokomo. So James Burnell comes up big again, even though he wasn't involved in the play. He drew a penalty. So game ball defensively has to go to James Burnell, at least at least at this point in time. We're going to get holding on Kokomo. Another costly penalty for the Wildcats. They have really hurt themselves with penalties tonight.
I mean, between the penalties, and the throws that have been just a little bit off to the receivers, I mean, this could be really ugly right now.
This could be a 4 or 5 touchdown game easily.
Yeah, and Logansport's still in this game.
Yes, they are. So the penalty moves the ball back to the 40-yard line. So after all of that, it's a net loss of a yard. 2nd down and 11 with 9:40 to go, third quarter. Wildcats on top 17-6. Rabos in the shotgun, back to pass. Double move this time. He's got a man wide open. The pass is going to be caught inside the 10, inside the 5, and he will go into the end zone for a touchdown. Noah Cameron, 40-yard touchdown as they continue to fool the Berries with those double moves out on the edge.
Yeah, and once again, in single coverage there, and Berry's just not able to keep up with the speed of those receivers on the outside. And, Kokomo really starting to get their confidence going and pile on here.
Again, Kokomo taking advantage with the wind in their face. They've not been affected at all. We thought maybe that passing game might be affected by this strong wind, but you got to give the Wildcats a lot of credit. They have battled the elements very well so far here tonight. Snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up. And the kick is good. And now the wind, it looks like, has died down significantly as we look at the flags, because Flores drilled that one well through the uprights. So time for the Berries now to regroup, definitely. It is now 24-6 after that big interception and a touchdown put Logansport up 6-3. 3 unanswered touchdowns by Kokomo to extend to an 18-point lead. Yeah,
this game has taken a dramatic turn here, and Coach Johnson giving them a little talk here. Just trying to keep these guys in at this point. You don't want to get discouraged, drag your head, and give up hope and win this game. There's still a ton of time on the clock, and you're still within a distance that if some turnovers, some things go your way, it could turn around. But definitely need a good possession at this point. Logansport not been able to do anything on offense really since before the end of the first half. So this is really critical here.
And Oscar Grimaldo, they continue to look at that left ankle as the training staff tends to him. He has just got injured on his very first carry, and he has been playing less than 100% tonight, and that's certainly not something the Berries needed against this very good Kokomo defense that we thought, looking at the way Kokomo started the season, struggling with this, could be a win for the Berries. It still might be, but Kokomo obviously has gotten a lot better as the season has progressed.
Yeah.
This is a very solid ball club we see here tonight at Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium. Now the kick is fielded by McLaughlin across the 15, across the 20, across the 25. He is going to be close to the 30-yard line again. Another good return for Drake McLaughlin.
And Grimaldo's a guy who we count on in that secondary a lot too. And, with that injury, you wonder how much that's affecting our ability to stop their receivers.
Yep. Quintez Stuckey, slow to get up. He is limping off the field for Kokomo, but able to get off under his own power. So Logansport will start first down and 10 at their 29-yard line. 9:19 to go, third quarter. Kokomo with 3 consecutive touchdowns to take a 24-6 lead here at Homecoming 2018. As the cold air and the end of the Homecoming King and Queen festivities, some of the crowd has departed on this cool night, but still a very good crowd remaining here at the stadium. Now inside handoff to McLaughlin. Gain of about 3 yards. Looked like that was a big hole. Yeah. And again, Kokomo closed it up. So we've seen a couple times Logansport with some holes, and they just close up in a hurry. This Kokomo defense has just been able to have an answer for everything Logansport has tried so far tonight.
And then Garrett Barron took a pretty good shot there. Was reaching for his throat. Looks like he might have got the wind knocked out of him.
So he's able to come to the sideline. Evan Vizquera replaces him on this second down play. 2nd down and 6 for Logansport. Tucker Platt in at fullback. Now the handoff to Grimaldo. Grimaldo able to get a couple of yards positive, and before he is pushed back, they will give him forward progress out to the 35-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play. It will be 3rd down and 4 for Logansport. If Logansport's to have any hopes of pulling this comeback, they need to get a first down here. If nothing else, get that Kokomo offense off the field, who is really starting to click on all cylinders.
Yeah, we've been getting killed in time of possession. It's got to be like 3-1 right now.
Yep. 3rd and 4 for the Berries. They need to get to the 39-yard line. McLaughlin in motion to the left. They pitch to the left. He looks like he has some room over there. He'll have the first down and more across the 40. Brought down at about the 42-yard line, but a nice positive run that time for McLaughlin. The Bears have not had much success in between the tackles, but out on the edge, they got some positive yardage.
Yeah, that's really the first opportunity he's had all night where he's had room out there and making the best of it.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. We are inside of 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Kokomo 24, Logan Sport 6. 1st and 10 for the Berries. Tucker Platt in once again at fullback. Barron fakes the handoff to Platt, rolls out to his right, and he's under heavy pressure and overthrows Grimaldo as Barron was on a dead run running for his life and just overthrew Oscar Grimaldo ever so slightly. Pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, and that's a tough spot to be. Like you said, he's going as fast as he can, but that's probably the most open he's had a guy all night. So, it's hard. You don't have hardly any good opportunities, and then when you get one, there's a lot of pressure to put that ball on the money.
7:40 to go here in the third. Kokomo 24, Logan Sport 6. The Berries have it 2nd down and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Evan Vizcarra in at quarterback. Grimaldo in motion to the right. Vizcarra on a quarterback keeper across the 45-yard line. Give him about 2.5 yards. So Vizcarra has been pretty effective in the couple times he has been called on to run the football. He has the Berries' lone touchdown on a 4-yard touchdown run. So Garrett Barron gets the play call from Coach Johnson, and he will come to the huddle and see what the Berries can come up with on this 3rd down and 8. They have it at their own 45-yard line. Clock running, 7 minutes, 10 seconds to play here in the third. The Wildcats 24 and Logan Sport 6. With McLaughlin in motion to the left. Barrett fakes the handoff to him, rolls out to his right. Got a man open, and it is through the fingertips of Jacob Cox. That was on target. Barron really put some mustard on that one, but it just went through the fingertips, unfortunately, to Jacob Cox. To Shai Stewart in excellent coverage that time for the Wildcats.
And probably one of the better passes that he's made. I mean, you got to put it in that spot to have any chance to get away from this defense because they are all over everybody.
4th down and 8. Jacob Cox into punt once again for the Berries. And Stephen Edwards in single safety, standing at about his 15-yard line to receive this punt from Jacob Cox. Cox will try to kick it away from him, but it goes right to Edwards, who fields it at the 9-yard line. He's got some room around the left side, and he's across the 30, across the 40, across the 45, cuts it back inside the 40, still on his feet. He is going to be finally hauled down at about the 32-yard line by Drake McLaughlin on another huge run by Stephen Edwards.
Yeah, we got a nice break there, too. A little bit of a cheap shot on Edwards as he was getting up.
So we'll see if there is...
I don't know if they saw it or not.
They're having some sort of discussion. I don't see a flag anywhere. Perhaps I missed it, but...
Is it holding then? Or blocking the back?
They're saying pick up the flag. So why is Kokomo going all the way back there? I'm not sure what's going on.
I don't know, unless there was a block in the back here.
Yep, so Kokomo went back all the way to their own 30-yard line, but the ball's actually, at least where the umpire is standing, right at the 32-yard line of Logansport. So I'm not sure what's going on.
I have no idea. Whew. Mercy.
There was a flag, but the officials said no penalty. So Kokomo will have it 1st down and 10 at the Logansport 32-yard line with 6:38 to go. The Wildcats have taken firm control of this game, and you get the feeling, Steve, if they're able to capitalize on this good field position, put in the end zone, it might be too much for the Berries to overcome tonight here on homecoming 2018. So the Berries defense will have to come up once again huge, try and keep the Wildcats from scoring following this good starting field position. On a handoff to Jeremy Baker, breaks a tackle inside the 30, inside the 25, spins his way out of another tackle, all the way down to the 12-yard line. That was a strong run that time from Jeremy Baker, who got a lot of yardage on his own. Tucker Platt, is that Tucker slow, or is that slow to get up? And it is, so Tucker will take a seat to the bench. I think this is a good move by Coach Johnson. You know Tucker doesn't want to come out, but
yeah,
He's put in a lot of minutes tonight on offense, defense, and special teams. Give Tucker a chance to catch his breath following that big run from Jeremy Baker down to the 12-yard line. First down and 10 for the Wildcats. Ramos again in the shotgun where he's been all night. Hands off to Baker. Baker's inside the 5, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown, 12-yard touchdown run from Jeremy Baker, and the Wildcats have taken complete control of this football game, now up 30-6.
And the thing is, our defense has been on the field for such a big chunk of the game at this point that they got to be just exhausted right now. I mean, those are tackles that you make earlier in the game, but at this point, they're just gassed.
Yep, no question about it. Not to make excuses, but it's a fact. There's no doubt. They've just spent a ton of time on the field so far tonight, and now we see a few more of the Logansport faithful heading toward the exits as they are seeing the same thing, unfortunately, that we are.
Yeah.
The hold is good. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 6:05 to go here in the third quarter. It is now 31-6, and it was Kokomo. It seemed like just a moment ago it was 6-3 Logansport.
Yeah.
And even 10-6 Kokomo, but Kokomo has scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 touchdowns, and they have complete control now, up 31-6.
Yeah, and a lot of times this is what you see later in the game. Maybe both the teams are able to hang together for a while, but at this point, that Logansport defense just exhausted, and the offense, tried everything they can possibly think of tonight and just can't get anything going. They've totally shut down our rushing game tonight. So we tried throwing it around, but can't really get the passing game going either. So, this Kokomo team, much better than their record, and it'll be interesting to see as the season progresses. They may get back to 500.
Yep, we'll see who Kokomo has next on the schedule. They, actually, the Wildcats finished the season at home with a couple of games. Harrison next Friday, and then Richmond. So they
could win both of those games.
They definitely have a chance to win that Richmond game at homecoming or on senior night on October the 12th. And we saw the Berries give Harrison a very good game. So as well as Kokomo's playing, and especially at home, that's absolutely a winnable game for the Wildcats.
And they seem much better than Harrison to me.
Yep. Flores with a kick fielded by Trujillo across the 10, across the 15, across the 20, out across the 25-yard line. Finally brought down at the 20. About the 26-yard line.
And you can see it really getting heated out there.
Yep. We've seen some couple of plays, couple of hits after the whistle. So let's see what the Berries, if they come up with some sort of answer. We're hoping maybe at the extended halftime might have given the Berries a chance to make adjustments. If anything, it's Kokomo who made the correct adjustments, at least so far. They've owned this third quarter.
Yeah, some nights you just, you're throwing stuff at the wall, like you don't know what else to try. But Logansport going to need some big breaks to go their way to have any chance here.
So we'll see what the Berries can come up with. First down and 10. They have it at their own 26-yard line with 5:58 to go. Third quarter, Kokomo on top 31-6. Barron in at quarterback. Handoff inside to Dungy, and he is hit right at the line of scrimmage. And once again, it is Jeremiah Neal. We've called his name several times tonight. They have had no answer for a big fella up front.
Yeah, once again, that A gap has been non-existent tonight. As Logansport's usually able to run up the middle about against everybody, and Kokomo not having any of it.
Loss of 2 on the play. Second down and 12. And it's Kokomo dominated the line of scrimmage in that first half, and they have really dominated the line of scrimmage here in the first 6.5 minutes of this third quarter. They've scored a couple touchdowns, and the Berries have gone backwards on their possession so far tonight, unfortunately. And now the Berries up against it with just 2 on the play clock. They just get it off. Handoff to McLaughlin. McLaughlin is hemmed in after a short gain. It gets back maybe to the initial line of scrimmage. It will be third down and long, but it took a long time for that play to get called, and the Berries had to rush it to avoid that delay of game penalty, and that disrupted the timing, I believe, of that play. So, third down and 10 for the Berries. They have it at their own 25-yard line. Clock running, 4 minutes, 44 seconds to play. Third quarter. Shotgun now for Logansport. Barron rolls out to his right under heavy pressure. The pass is almost intercepted. Jacob Cox was double covered, But Garrett was running for his life under heavy pressure, and Kokomo's defensive line has just been dominant all night long.
Yeah, and once again, opening the playbook up, you got to admire this Berry's team for not laying down and, shaking it up a little bit. So there you saw Barron, turn it there and, coming back on the route, just nothing there that time.
Stephen Edwards standing at his own 30-yard line to receive this punt from Jacob Cox. Jacob, a high kick.
Nice kick.
It's going to be fielded by Edwards. Nope, he'll let it bounce. And the kick's a Logansport roll inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. So first down and 10 for the Wildcats.
And by far the best punt we've had all night. Finally get a break on a punt.
Yep, so Jacob does a good job keeping out of the hands of the dangerous return man, Stephen Edwards.
Man.
But the Wildcats will have it first down and 10 at their own 28-yard line with 4:27 to go, third quarter. And it's Kokomo on top, 31-6. Wildcats were 0-5 until they got a win last week at Muncie Central, 33-17. And they look like they are in excellent position to get their second consecutive win of the season. Here with a comfortable 31-6 lead over the Berries in the later stages of this third quarter. Rabos once again in the shotgun with a couple receivers to his right, one out to the left. Rabos back to pass. He's got good protection. He's got a fly pattern. Wallace is open. It is in his hands, and he would have had a touchdown, but he dropped it, and cannot believe he dropped that one. It's Julian Wallace. That was a perfect pass from Rabos. Hit Wallace right in his hands. He would have had an easy touchdown. And it's 31-60. But there could be 3 or 4 more touchdowns easily if the Kokomo's been that close several times.
Yeah, and we mentioned a few passes earlier in the game that were just barely off, but that one, like you said, right on his hands, and the route is on right now.
Second down and 10 for the Wildcats. At the 28-yard line of Kokomo, 4 minutes and 20 seconds to play. Wildcats on top, 31-6. Now Rabos will throw the bubble screen to Crammon. Crammon across the 30, makes one man miss. Across the 35-yard line, he'll have the first down at about the 39-yard line. That was a nice run after the catch that time by Noah Cameron. These Kokomo Wildcats, they've got several talented skill position players the Berries have seen so far tonight. And this team either is the best 1-5 team in the state, or they have gotten a whole lot better since that rough start.
We were looking ahead at the schedule thinking, hey, this is a real opportunity to break the streak, and Kokomo just not having any of it tonight.
Yep. First and 10 for the Wildcats at their own 39-yard line. Now the handoff to Baker, and he's got a big hole across midfield. Inside the 45-yard line, he's brought down at about the 43-yard line. And they are just gashing this Logansport defense with those big holes. And Steve, you just never know what a win can do for a team's confidence. They were 0-5 going into last week, got that win against Muncie Central. Sometimes that's all it takes is just one win.
And they had so many personnel changes. Sometimes it takes some time, for guys to get used to their new roles and to find out who fits where.
And a new coach.
And they could just be a mix of all that put together.
Yep. So whatever it is, it's working for the Wildcats tonight. They're up 31-6. 3.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. They have it first down and 10 at the Logansport 43-yard line. Now the pass is thrown up for grabs. Stephen Edwards that time was double covered. Logansport with excellent coverage that time. One of the few times that they've had an answer for Stephen Edwards in the passing game.
Yeah, and just nice to have a stop on this possession and, give this Logansport offense another opportunity at this Kokomo defense.
And the only thing worse than this score is they're taking some of the food away here from the press box. So that's pretty depressing, but I think we'll be able to survive. Second down and 10 for the Wildcats. Rabos in the shotgun. We'll hand the ball off to Baker. Breaks the tackle inside the 40, inside the 30, inside the 20. Still on his feet. Breaks another tackle. He may go in 10, 5, and a touchdown. 43-yard run that time. Jeremy Baker, and that was all Jeremy Baker on that time. He had a couple of nice holes initially, but boy, he broke 3 or 4 tackles to get that touchdown.
Yeah, Baker, who had kind of a slow start tonight, had that fumble earlier in the game, but he has taken over here in the second half. And Baker, a kid I got to see on the basketball court a bunch, he is just a really built young man, really stout, and without football pads on, and is taking over this game for the Wildcats.
Yep, 6'2", 183 pounds, and boy,
it's solid muscle.
Yeah, he's tough to bring down. So Flores will try the extra point. Hold is good. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 3:06 to play. It is 37-6. And it's been or 38-6, I was going to say. I thought that was 38. So 3 touchdowns here in this third quarter for the Wildcats, and they got that touchdown right before intermission. Also, that seemed to really springboard this team into this dominant third quarter.
Yeah, and you look at this crowd; they're just in shock right now, as I don't think anybody anticipated it was going to go like this tonight.
Oh no. I think many of them thought the same thing that we did, looking at how Kokomo struggled this season with the Berries' improvement, that this was a chance to get a win against Kokomo, one of the who has owned this series recently, winners of 11 straight. Logansport last won 2006 was the last time they beat Kokomo.
Yeah, and if you're going to start playing well, this is the perfect time. You got a couple games left in the regular season. The postseason is going to be here before you know it. And, man, I tell you what, if they play half this good, they could finish the regular season really well and maybe make a run in the postseason.
Yeah, no question about it. With that quarterback Ramos, with that big right arm and those skill position players, they're going to be a tough out.
Because Logansport is no slouch.
No.
You see how we've played against, some tough competition this season, and Kokomo has absolutely dominated every facet of the game.
Yep, no question about it. This is as bad as the Berries have been manhandled all season.
Yeah.
Even the 30-0 loss to Marion, the Berries were not.
Yeah,
we
were in that game.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Logansport's see if they can come up with something positive here on this drive, down 38-6. Flores with a nice kick, fielded this time by McLaughlin, across the 10, across the 20. Now that's Grimaldo, beg your pardon, and he is tackled right at the 22-yard line. Nice tackle that time by Rico Barbary with a nice open field tackle. Looks like Oscar had some running room to the left side. He's slow to get up off that pile. He's taken a couple of solid hits tonight.
Yeah, he really has.
Just wondered, he wants to stay out there, but it looks like I think this is a good idea from the coaching staff to try and get Oscar out of there. He's just can't catch a break tonight, and with it a 38-6 game, you just can't afford to let someone get hurt when the score is out of hand, unfortunately, like it is. So Skylar Trujillo will come in to replace him. We do have a score. Pioneer on top of Knox, 36-0 at the end of 3, and West Lafayette 51. Lewis cast nothing at halftime. Woo. And another tackle by Jeremiah Neal as he brings down Drake McLaughlin following a minimal gain. Actually, no gain right at the 22-yard line. So Jeremy Baker on offense and Jeremiah Neal on defense have been the stalwarts for Kokomo so far tonight.
Yeah, they really have, and man, just at this point, you're like, what do we try next? We've tried everything.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I really did not see this coming. I really thought the Berries would had a chance to win this football game. McLaughlin in motion. The option pitch to McLaughlin, breaks one tackle and cannot break the second tackle, but he did get a couple of yards out to the 25-yard line. Give him 3.
And then we got Dungy limping a little bit over here.
And Miles just can't stay healthy this season. He got nicked up early, and he just cannot get to 100%. That's unfortunate because he's a very special player for this ball club.
And now you're kind of in that spot where you want to keep battling. You want to keep trying to win the game, but you don't want to get anybody hurt
exactly.
either. So it's kind of a catch-22 at this point.
No question about it. So he is replaced by Tucker Platt. 3rd down and 8 for the Berries. Clock running, 1 minute, 35 seconds to go. Here in the third, it's 38-6 Kokomo. They have scored 3 touchdowns here in this third quarter to take full control of the game. Now Barron under the pressure, and down he goes. And that looked like Javius Gray, and on the stop, Neal was also in the area. And the onslaught is on, Steve. This has been a dominant, as good a defense, I think, as Logansport has seen all season. Better than Marion, and Marion was outstanding last week.
Yeah, absolutely the best defense. And, Garrett Barron there just trying to hold on to the ball with all those guys all over him. As many hits as he takes, he has been able to hold on to the football.
Jacob Cox in punt formation. for the Berries. Another strong kick that time for Cox. Yep. Fielded by Edwards at the 45-yard line. A return is set up to the left, and he's got lots of open running room inside the 30, inside the 25, inside the 15, one man to beat, and he is going to be brought down just short of the goal line. Jacob Cox saves a touchdown, at least for the time being, at the 2-yard line. A fine tackle there by Jacob Cox.
Yeah.
But Stephen Edwards, wow.
You know, and at this point, you know, Jake's really kicking the ball well.
Yes.
But I don't think we want to give it to Edwards again. I mean, every time he touches the ball, it's big gains.
Down to the 2-yard line with 34.8 seconds to play in what has been a disastrous third quarter for the Berries. They got off to a bad start when they went backwards on their first offensive possession, and it has just gotten worse, unfortunately, for Logan Sport since then.
Yeah, it really has.
So Kokomo will improve to 2-5 on the season with their second conference win. Logan Sport will fall to 3-4. And boy, oh boy, Lafayette Jeff next Friday night. It doesn't get any easier for this ball club.
No.
Now the handoff to Jeremy Baker, and he's into the end zone for a 3-yard touchdown run for Baker. It is now 44-6. I did not see this coming, partner. No disrespect to Kokomo, but just looking at the scores now this season, I talked to a couple guys from Kokomo who've seen them play, so that they're just not very good this year. But like you said, a new system, a new coach, it maybe just taking a few games to get in.
And it just happened to start clicking the night that they played Logan Sport. Man.
So in for the point after is Angelo Flores, an outstanding place kicker, and just a junior is Flores, so he's got a chance to get some offers, I would think, with that strong right leg as he drills this one way through the uprights. The kick is good. It is now 45-6, 28 third quarter points for the Wildcats. It was not too long ago. It was 6-3 Logan Sport and then 10-6, but that touchdown right before the half really seemed to inspire this Kokomo ball club.
Yeah, and we felt like, you know, really for almost the whole first half, we felt like we were in the game despite, you know, not being able to move the ball in offense. But I think with just all the time that this Logan Sport defense has spent on the field, you know, they got to be exhausted at this point. And, you know, Kokomo really getting their confidence going and really starting to click on all cylinders.
Yep.
And despite all the missed opportunities that they've had.
Oh, yeah. And some more of the fans have decided to take advantage of this cool evening and depart with the game well in hand now for the Wildcats, 45-6. We do have a baseball score to pass along. The Milwaukee Brewers are on top of the Tigers, 4-3 in the fourth inning. So the Brewers trying to stay a game behind the Cubs in that National League Central race. The Cubs knocked off St. Louis earlier today, 8-4. A high short kick fielded on the run by Trujillo across the 20. Now cuts it to the outside to the 30, and he's brought down right about the 31-yard line. So Trujillo with had a couple of solid returns tonight for Logan.
Yeah, he has.
That's one of the bright spots they've had here in this third quarter is the return from Skylar Trujillo. So we'll see if the Berries can do anything offensively, as Kokomo's defense has just owned this third quarter.
You know, there's a lot you can learn from a game like this. You know, the Berries season could be, you know, could still have some time here. You know, you got an incredibly tough game next week, but, you know, this is a team that if we play well could make a run in the sectional and have quite a few more games.
I agree. First down and 10 for the Berries. Now the handoff to Drake McLaughlin around the left side. And he to the 35-yard line. Dearly love to forget. At the end of 3, it is Kokomo 45, Logan Sport 6. We'll step aside for a break. When we return, we'll have our fourth quarter here live from Logan Sport.
It's the end of the third quarter, and you're listening to Berries football on WSAL. We'll get back to the game after these messages.
Logan Sport Savings Bank, we're leading the way.
Hi, this is Joshua at Logan Sports Savings Bank, and we're leading the way in growing our community. With the right team, you can accomplish your desired goals. Bank with us and join our team in impacting our community. Contact us at 722-3855 or at logansportsavings.com. Good luck to all of our local athletes.
Don't take chances on an old heating system. More people are turning to Wilkinson Heating and Cooling. They offer more, with systems as low as $125 a month. Easy to qualify financing. Second chance lifeline on qualifying equipment, plus a free furnace offer. You can trust Wilkinson Heating and Cooling in Logansport to take good care of you.
WSAL coverage of Logansport Berries football continues as we are about to start the fourth quarter of the game. Here's Joe Stetz and Steve Isaacs.
All right, Alan James, thank you very much. Kokomo outscored Logansport 28-0 in that third quarter to take a 45-6 lead. Total yards in the third quarter, Kokomo 166, Logansport 6. So it was about a one-sided quarter as we have seen all season long. Got to give full credit to this Kokomo Wildcat team, Steve. Did not expect a total domination that we've seen by the Wildcats tonight.
Yeah, Jeremy Baker already sitting at 113 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Edwards with 126 yards and 2 touchdowns. They've had dominant performances.
Vizquera now on a quarterback keeper around the left side with a nice gain across the 35 out to about the 38-yard line. So Evan with a nice run. He's also been a bright spot running the football tonight for the Berries. He has the Berries' only touchdown of the game. And at the time, it gave Logansport a 6-3 lead, and things were looking okay for the Berries. But this Kokomo team just has wore down Logansport. And the time of possession, okay, I don't know how this is right. It says Logansport now with more possession time. So we'll have to check with our official statistician, Blake Isaacs. I don't think that's right. But not that I would ever question Blake, but that might be.
I don't know how that can be possible. I mean, I'm thinking.
Unless Kokomo scored so quickly they didn't have time to.
Man, I don't know about
that. But
I mean, I'm thinking we got like 10 minutes possession time, if that. But
well, according to that, the Berries had the ball for 10 minutes in the third quarter, and Kokomo for just 2. Okay, that's possible, I guess. But I don't know how you can score 4 touchdowns in just 2 minutes. So again, not that I would ever question Blake Isaacs, but this is one time we might have to question him. So with my all due deference to his excellence, Jacob Cox now will punt. This one off the side of the foot, but it gets kicked away from Stephen Edwards, and that is just fine for the Berries.
That is good news.
Yep, absolutely. We'll see where it's spotted. Spotted at the 40-yard line. A very generous spot that time. I don't think it went nearly that far, but hey, the Berries will take it with 10:39 to go here in this fourth quarter. Down 45-6 after a 28-0 Kokomo third quarter. The third quarter, the Berries would dearly love to forget. Now we'll see as this defense, despite what our statistician tells us, I think has been on the field a long, long time. Jeremy Baker remains in the game. So all the first stringers are out there for the Wildcats. He'll take the handoff to Baker around the left side. Has some room across the 45, still on his feet.
Man,
across midfield, still on his feet, inside the 40, and he'll finish that run all the way down to the 36-yard line, as he has been an inspired running back here in this fourth quarter.
And he ran 2 or 3 guys over on that run. Man.
And you see, you've heard the old cliche, running backs get stronger as the game goes on.
Yeah.
He's the full embodiment of that tonight. He's every single carry, he gets better than the one before. He is taken out of the game temporarily. You wonder if his night might be over.
Yeah, I think I'd get him out.
Absolutely.
Last thing you want to get hurt in a blowout like this.
Absolutely. So it looks like it is Jason Spear in the backfield. And the Spear does get the handoff, breaks the tackle, down close to the 30-yard line. They'll mark him at about the 32-yard line. So back to the drawing board for the Berries. And might be their toughest game of the season against 6A Power Lafayette, Jeff, next Friday night here at Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. And, to go from a game like this into that next week, but you got to keep playing hard.
Oh, yeah.
And, you got to remember that you're a good football team. And the way you've played against, the Harrisons and the McCutcheons, and even Marion last week.
Yep, and the game much closer than that 30-0 score would indicate.
Yeah.
Here, this is This has been every bit as dominant a 45-6 score would suggest. Now on the inside handoff is Ethan Marciniak. Marciniak with solid gain, and he'll have the first down. 8-yard pickup on that play down to the 24-yard line as Kokomo just continues to gash this Logansport defense here in this third quarter, or in this second half. 8 minutes and 30 seconds to play. It is Kokomo on top 45-6, and Kokomo still with 30 seconds to snap the football, so they're going to take an awful lot of time in the huddle. No need to hurry. Let this clock wind down. Kokomo get their second consecutive victory, and they'll end the season with a couple of home games, Harrison and Richmond. And based on what we've seen tonight, both of those are eminently winnable for this Kokomo ball club. First and 10 for the Wildcats. They have it at the Logansport 24-yard line. Now the pass is overthrown, intended for Joseph Bailey, who was open in the left flat. And the pass sailed a little bit on Rabos. Second down and 10. So a night that started very promising for the Berries. It's a homecoming with the nice weather and a full capacity crowd, and they got off to a pretty solid start. Despite since then. In the shot inside and brings it back to the inside. Make it third down and 9. It's the Thursday night football last night. I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but quite a passing display. Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins both with more than 400 yards through the air, and the Rams.
Yeah, who won that game?
The Rams,
I didn't get to see the end of it.
38-31, the Rams.
Goff was on fire, man.
Yeah, 465 yards, I believe. At least that's what the dude on the radio said this morning. I hardly ever listen to that guy. 4 TD passes for Goff. Now the handoff inside. Nice play that time by the Logansport defense. Good tackle. A loss on that play is Jurice Rogers. Great run in the NFC last year. They, at least in the early going, seem to be the class of that National Football Conference.
Yep.
And now we're going to have a long field goal. We said that Flores has a strong leg. It's going to be about a 41-yard field goal. I think this is a good move by the Wildcats. They might need this kid to kick a long field goal at some point down the season, down the stretch. This is going to be a 41-yard field goal. Whatever wind that remains is at his back. Hold is good. The snap is good. The kick, I believe, is partially blocked. Good that time. And it is a live ball, so Grimaldo has a chance to return it. Across the 30, across the 35, across the 40, into Kokomo territory, inside the 40. Breaks it back to the open field, inside the 30. Now it's a foot race to the goal line. 20, 15, 10, 5, and Oscar Grimaldo is
he in?
In for a touchdown, I believe.
All right.
Oh, my. Now, do we have a flag on the play?
I don't think so.
Let's see. Eli Wickersham's talking to somebody. The official?
I don't see one.
I don't see a flag. That must have been, whoever threw it must have picked it up, but that's going to wipe out a 98-yard return following the blocked field goal. Wow. Well, I think that play sums up the night it's been for the Berries, unfortunately. They make a great play to block the kick.
Yeah, I think it might be a penalty on Goody.
Okay. And Grimaldo with a spectacular return and did a great job reaching with his left hand to get that ball to break the plane before he stepped out of bounds. But it all is going to come back.
And that's after hurting his ankle earlier in the game.
Absolutely. So the crowd that did stick around was treated to excitement. Even though that doesn't count, that still was an exciting play for these fans to witness, and for us as well. That was a fine return by Grimaldo, but it comes back due to the illegal block in the back. And the ball is going to be spotted. They still haven't at the 20-yard line. So, wow.
Oh, man, it's been one of those nights, Joe, when it rains, it pours.
Yep, that just takes the life out of you the way that this game has gone, unfortunately. So we'll see what the Berries can come up with. First down and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Garrett Barron, option right, will keep it himself close to the 25-yard line. With the clock running, 4:44 to go. As we'll have the Wildcats play host to Lafayette Harrison next Friday night. The Berries right here at Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium. Taking on 6A power Lafayette Jeff. Keeping a handoff to Drake McLaughlin across the 30, across the 35, down to about the 38-yard line. Nice hard run that time from Drake McLaughlin. The good news for the Berries, they've been taking better care of the football here in the second half. They've not had any turnovers, but unfortunately, as ball security again a factor with 3 fumbles lost and an interception in that first half. Romaldo in motion, counter handoff to McLaughlin. Oh, that's Eli Wickersham. Wickersham near midfield. Another solid run by Wickersham. Gain of 12 on that play. It will be first down for Logansport. Clock running, 3:25 to go. It is Kokomo 45, Logansport 6. The Berries led midway through the second quarter, 6-3, and then the onslaught began. Kokomo scored a couple of touchdowns in the second quarter, including one with 4.5 seconds to go in that second quarter, and they outscored Logansport 28-0 in the third quarter. Outgained the Berries 166-6 in that quarter. Now the handoff, nice run inside the 30, inside the 25, inside the 20. Solid run that time. Charlie O'Connor.
Nice.
One of the few times he's gotten a chance to carry the football this year, but wow, nice run for O'Connor down to the 17-yard line. His offensive line did a nice job opening up a big hole. Maybe the biggest hole the Berries have had all night long.
Yeah.
33 yards on that play. Down to the 17-yard line. Clock restarts after the chains move. We have a final score from Knox. Pioneer 36 and Knox nothing, so the Panthers remain undefeated. O'Connor again with a handoff inside the 10. Solid run again by O'Connor down to the 9-yard line. So Charlie O'Connor making the most of the opportunity that he's been given tonight, albeit it's against the second string, but still a couple of nice runs for O'Connor.
And another guy in that junior class that'll, be seniors next season. Good for them to get some reps in a varsity game.
No question about it. 2 minutes to go. Kokomo 45, Logansport 6. The Berries, they'll have something on first and goal at the 9. Charlie O'Connor inside the 5-yard line, close.
All right.
To the 3-yard line. We'll mark him at the 4. Good hard run that time.
He's had 3 good runs in a row. Give to him again.
He sure has. As we had a couple of visitors in the press box, we open up that door, and my, oh my, it's chilly out there. Nice and warm in here, though, so no complaints. Clock continues to move. Down to 1:20 to go here in this fourth quarter. Kokomo on top 45-6. The Berries will fall to 3-4, and they have a tough game next Friday night against Lafayette Jeff. O'Connor gets the handoff. This time he is tackled short of the goal line. Kokomo brings him down at about the 2-yard line. Clock winds down inside a minute.
As frustrating as it is to get that play called back, it has been nice to see the offense drive all the way down the field.
Has.
And I know this isn't the first team defense they're playing against, but still, there are some positives to take away.
Yep, no question about it. Second down and goal for Logansport. I believe it's third and goal. I thought keeping it himself is Vizcarra, and he's in for a touchdown. Evan Vizcarra with his second touchdown of the night. And the Berries cut the lead now to 45-12 with 34.5 seconds to go.
And Vizcarra with the only 2 touchdowns of the game tonight.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Steve. Even though it's against the second string, I think this is a good confidence builder maybe for the Berries. Is that they're going to need that and a whole lot more against 6A Power Lafayette, Jeff, next Friday.
Yeah, and this is kind of the opposite of last week where, it was a close game, but, it looked like Marion dominated this game. Hasn't really been close at all, but Logansport still, not getting totally annihilated here.
There's the kick by Juan Perez. It is up, and it is good. So Juan Perez converts his first extra point of the night. It is 45-13 with 34.5 seconds to go. As we will check. We have a score at the end of 3. It is West Lafayette 51 and Lewis Cass nothing. And we were afraid that that might be in store for the Kings. No disrespect to the Kings, but West Lafayette is that good. I mean, they've been annihilating.
Yeah, they really are.
They've been dominating everybody.
A likely team to win that state championship, but playing those types of teams is only going to make you better. And Lewis Cass, maybe make a good run in your sectional or something. You can look back to that game against West Lafayette. You really got tested. Because I feel like Cass is a pretty good, kind of the middle of the road football team this season.
And we were lucky enough to get to watch a couple of the postseason games with Lewis Cass last year, and I was thoroughly impressed with some of the athletes that they had in that ball club. So, that hopefully will help them in that sectional, because I don't think they'll play anybody as good as West Lafayette in the 2A sectional. Here it's 34.5 seconds to play. Kokomo on top, 45-13. The Wildcats, after falling behind 6-3, ripped off 42 unanswered points. And Juan Perez to kick it off for Logansport. And it's back to the drawing board. One of the things that we saw all season long is this Berries team believed that they could win, and they were very confident. And a game like this does not do any wonders for your confidence, that's for sure.
And this is a game, they had to be really believing they were going to win coming into it.
Edwards gets the return across the 35-yard line, breaks the tackle across the 40, into Logansport territory, 45, 40, 35, spins his way out of one tackle. He is finally going to be brought down at about the 25-yard line. And Stephen Edwards.
Wow. This could be a case where, they're trying to get him a big game, maybe get into that 200, 250-yard range. But at the same time, you don't want to get a guy hurt with 15 seconds to go on the clock. So, you'd really hate to see that.
Yep, especially as well as Kokomo was playing down the stretch of the season.
And his night's got to be over, you would think, at this point.
And with these athletes and some of this talent they've got,
if
I was a 4A sectional opponent, I wouldn't want to see them in my draw.
No,
that's for sure.
I wouldn't.
So see if the Wildcats go in victory formation. Looks like that will be the case. This for the first time all night. Under center is Rabos, and he will take a knee, and the clock will run out, and that will do it. So what started out as a very promising night here at Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium does not end so well for Logansport. Our final score, Kokomo 45, Logansport 13. We'll step aside for a break. When we return, we'll have our fifth quarter. There's more coming up live from Logansport.
WSAL thanks you for listening to Berries Football. There's more to come in our broadcast as WSAL presents the fifth quarter. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages.
With over 80 years of dedication to the Cass County community,